Hello everybody and welcome back to Learn by Play, a Dungeons & Dragons series here on the D&D channel. My name is Will, I'm a D&D sex icon, and this is the Encounter Roleplay Squad back once again in the ruins of Omu to take on some challenges which may or may not, definitely do, include a frogmoth. So we're going to get into that in just a wee bit today, but let's begin with finding out who we are and who we are playing today. Let's start with Tool Squall. How you doing, Tool Squall?
I am doing great. Looking forward to seeing what is going to happen with the city of Omu and the Nine Gods, and most importantly, a giant frog who's trying to eat my friends. But I am playing Fulton Stump, who is a Grave Domain cleric. He is a frobog who is a bit out of his element right now, but hopefully can keep his friends alive long enough on this strange island of Chult and keep us, I guess, not dead. At this point, I think not dead is probably the goal.
Not dead is basically the same as alive, kind of, in this game.
Yeah.
There's some legal small print that you could read on that one, but we don't worry about it over here.
Yeah.
Fantastic. We also have Sydney with us today. How you doing, Sydney?
I'm doing good. I'm really excited. I feel like it's been like 10 years since we've done this, and that's too long. I've aged a lot.
Yeah.
Since last time we were here. But I'm playing Reverie Thane, who is a high elf rogue assassin, and I'm really feeling combat today. I really hope that we attack some things because I don't know. I need to let some anger out.
Yeah, no spoilers, but I think there may be some combat today, based on last week's episode. Fantastic. And we have Louise with us today, no more, no less. How you doing, Louise?
I am, no more, no less, doing amazing. And I'm having a good time, and I'm currently alive, which is great. And things are well. And I am playing Dazira, who is a high elf eldritch knight, who, if you were wondering to yourselves, people at home, she sounds great, but if only I could perchance see her, you can do so. Of that link in the chat. An amazing artist drew her, and it's fantastic. I'm going to be crediting the artist in the Twitter post, so go check him out. It's
there
great.
You go.
It's
there
great.
You go. Great stuff. Awesome. And we have older Josh. Josh has aged a little bit since last we saw him. No longer baby-faced and youthful as before, but now wise and learned.
Weathered.
Yes, weathered. He has learned by play. We have Greg of us, Grimjack21502. You might recognize Greg from the Grunley musical special we did a couple of weeks back for Extra Life. Greg, how are you doing, my friend?
I was doing great before that wonderful intro, man. But no, this is awesome. I love being on D&D. I love playing with these guys. I will be reprising my role as Ubu, the Ranger Turtle. And we're not sure exactly when he's going to show up, but hopefully he can show up and help these guys out in the jungles of Chult, because as we all know, friends get you by in the jungle. So maybe a little Chult loving. We'll see what we got.
A reprise, please.
Yes, maybe we can make that happen later on. But excellent. Quick note for Josh. Unfortunately, Josh is not going to be able to join us for at least another few sessions, maybe not the rest of the series due to his current life situation. He is alive. I haven't turned him into a lich just yet, but I'm working on it. Don't worry. But we do have Ubo with us today, and for the foreseeable future to be joining us for the Learn by Play sessions and the rest of the season. So let's talk about what Learn by Play is, of course, in case you are new here. Well, the show is a little bit different from your standard actual play. I, as a Dungeon Master, will take moments away from the game to go to our secret DM cave and have some tomb insights, in which I'll take typically 2 or 3 topics per session to talk about and explain some of the decisions that I'm making as a Dungeon Master to help you guys learn the Tomb of Annihilation and Dungeon Mastering in general. It's also a great chance to ask questions, so if you have questions during those Tomb Insights, feel free to ask them and I'll try my best to get to them as well. Also of note, particularly of note in today's game, is that we're playing Meat Grinder rules, because we want to show you guys how fun it is to kill players, but also that the Tomb of Annihilation is here to be enjoyed rather than endured. Other than that, though, let's start off with a quick reminder of what happened last week, because we had a pretty eventful week last session, and a whole lot of stuff happened. The party flew their way in, along with the help of Miles the Lich, into the ruins of Omu. There they encountered the bodies of 30 or so dead Red Feyan wizards, who they've also had encounters in, a couple of run-ins in previously in our campaign, and they met one survivor, a gentleman and a scribe known as Orvex Okramus, who told them, as he befriended them, and seemed like not much of a threat really, this old doddering fool, that there are 9 puzzle cubes, and they needed to find all 9 of them in order to gain access to the Tomb of the 9 Gods, and therefore find the Soulmonger, stop everything that's going wrong in Chult, and save the world. Of course, the party went at it in fashion that only these guys really could. They went to one of the temples, the temple of, the shrine of Kobazan. Taking on a challenge there was a pool of water which they had to pass over on some stepping stones. Of course, this required a DC 10 acrobatics check to get across, and at one point or another, almost all of the party members failed, aside from Reverie, who managed to stay far away from that scenario. They found that there was a frogmoth, a giant beast with tentacles and a frog-like mouth in the water, who was a representation of Kobazan, who attacked them and grievously wounded and swallowed whole Bert Bartleby Baxter before he fireballed himself and the Frogmoth in order to escape, which spat him, and turns out, someone else out as well. And the Frogmoth rose on its froggy appendages to come at him, and we do have the same turn order, but there's a couple of things that happened that are about to happen as well. We'll get to our first Tomb Insight in just a moment. It may spoil a few things if I go to that just now. But let's go into it. Let's quickly remind ourselves of what he looked like. It's been 2 weeks since we've actually seen these characters, so a quick visual description would be fantastic. Tall Squall, what does Fulton look like?
Tall Squall is about 8 feet tall. He has sort of a light greenish.
Are we talking about Tall Squall or are we talking about Fulton?
Well, you know.
Tall Squall is about 8 feet tall.
Arts imitates life.
He is a frobog. He actually has antlers as well, and has sort of somewhat animalistic features, sort of mixed with elven. It's sort of this blend, as frobogs do. They adapt to their environment around them. He sort of actually has sort of this natural camouflage that in bright light, his skin is this very light green, like sort of new green shoots. But then when he's in the shade, it actually becomes very dark, sort of like a dark cappuccino or coffee color, in order to help him blend in. And so when he's in light and shadow, he's sort of this mottled color to represent some of the special racial abilities of frobogs. But he sort of, while he is a cleric, it sort of has a shamanistic flair to it, since he is of nature and is a death cleric. So it's sort of that idea of sort of a shamanistic, somewhat of a nomad, lived in a swamp before coming here. And yeah, that's Fulton.
He's like Nature Shrek, is how I like to think of Fulton.
Nature Shrek, but buffer.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
No. Shrek's been working out in that swamp. Reverie, what do you look like?
Reverie is a pretty tall, pretty slender, roguey-looking gal. She's got very long, straight black hair, and she's very pale, and got kind of like gray eyes, kind of matches the gray armor. Sort of intimidating, like the girl you probably wouldn't want to talk to in the halls at high school. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And
I never spoke to any girls in high school, so I understand.
Well, you've never been with anyone but me.
Right.
Yeah, and she carries a fancy rapier that she got at the fancy rapier store in the first episode of Learn by Play.
Yes, she did.
Yes, and she looks pretty like fancy. She's in an assassin's guild, so she's no noob. She's not playing any games here.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, cool. Desira, what do you look like?
Well, funny you should ask. I could turn your attention again to the amazing art made by Lloyd, which is perfect, which I will put again because I think that he should get all of the appreciation. So I'll put that link again in the chat. Tazira is a high elf fighter. She stands quite tall. She's quite toned and slender. She has her dress is relatively traditional in Cholton, which is where she's from, and the weather. You got to dress light in Chult. And she carries her sword, which she has never lost or put away. It's her only friend really in the world, which is quite sad. And she has a bird mask on her, which whenever she meets anybody that is also native to Chult, she wears because. She doesn't really want anyone else to know that, she's who she is, which is not shifty or strange. It's just, it's like when you're a bit uncomfortable around, new people. It's like maybe she had a spot that day or something. I don't know. I can't say. But she just doesn't want anyone else to, judge her. So it's for no bad reason at all.
Good. All right then. So
I'm innocent.
And we will get to Ubo here in just a second. So let's pick up from where we left off. You guys are in combat with a frogmoth. There is the pool with stepping stones that you have to get across for about 10-15 feet. Small island with a statue in the middle of that, and another 10-15 feet behind that there is a gate which leads into the shrine itself. The frogmoth is in the water surrounding you. Bartleby has just been spat out and it looms over him, and then the frogmoth goes as if it's got something else caught within it, and with another kind of it vomits up a turtle. Ubo, what do you look like as you're covered in gunk and grime?
Well, if you can see through the frogmoth like saliva and regurgitation, Ubo is, by the standards of the turtles, ancient. They normally live to about 50 years. He's about 50 years. The folds on his hairless head are so pronounced and so deep that you're not actually sure which fold contains his eyes, as he's incredibly squinty. And his shell is ancient, and the growths and spines on his shell have created edges and irregularities around the sides. And his skin, where it once was a vibrant, a very vibrant green, has now become, splotched and patched with brown as he is aged to the point where nature's about ready to call him home.
Yeah. The group of you may remember Ubo from your previous excursion in Grung the Musical, what seemed like in a different dimension and a different time. But he definitely, you're like, oh yeah, we wondered what happened to that guy. Guess he ended up here. So Ubo, we're actually going to give you Bert's turn order here, the top of the turn. So, and to remind us of what the turn order is, it would be Ubo on a 19, Fulton on a 16, Reverie on a 15, Desira on a 7, and a frogmoth on a 3. So Ubo, as you're spat out onto the island, what would you like to do here?
As soon as he gets spat out, he rolls over onto his back, takes his feet, and unclips one of the ridges from the back of his shell, and it turns out that one of the angular kind of curved ridges was actually a bow. And as he cracks it off, he pulls out an arrow and begins to fire at the creature that had previously swallowed him.
Very cool.
But before he does so, he is going to hunter's mark him. And let her fly.
Rules.
Yes. 25, sir.
25 is definitely going to be a hit.
Okay. And then the additional hunter's mark damage will be 6 on top of that.
Excellent. The arrow flies out towards the frogmoth and hits one of the tentacles. It looks pretty upset with you.
He is going to fire again as he slowly backs up towards the largest person he can see, which would be Fulton. He wants to come to a rest beside him, but in the process of retreating, slowly he fires again.
Nice.
21.
21 is going to be another hit as well.
All right. He sinks it in, and as soon as he sinks it in, he turns and looks way up at the guy beside him, and he says, "Kill the goddamn thing."
Olvex, I don't think I could really kill anything, actually. I once tried killing a beetle. It didn't go well for me.
It was Fulton. He was going to go back up.
Okay. Oh, well, sorry, I've completely misread this scenario. Don't listen to me. I'm not here. Orbex is,
no interest in you.
Orbex is taking notes. Oh, fascinating. Turtle, great stuff. I wonder what else is in there. Or who else is in there? Right, so that is not Bert, but you, my friend, Ubo. Fulton, you see this sickly old turtle be thrown out of the Frogmoth's gullet as an afterthought, and it's your turn.
So I can. So we've got enough of him out, so we can see him. Correct?
Yes, yeah, he has risen out of the water at this point, making himself a pretty viable target.
So yeah, I'm gonna try to guiding bolt that thing as I look down to my buddy. It's like, I'd wondered what happened to you, and for sure. Give me 1
I
second.
definitely remembered you.
I definitely remember you. Does a 23 hit?
I remember why I didn't call. Yes, a 23 is a hit.
And I'm casting it at a higher level so we can light this guy up. So that would be 20 points of radiant
Oh
damage.
yeah, he is lit up like a Christmas tree.
And advantage on the next attack.
Very nice, very nice. Okay, so 20 points au damage on old frogmoth. Excellent. Reverie. You're, as I seem to recall, you're 60 feet away, correct? Because you took the dash action away from the frogmoth, but you're still within range of the
Yeah.
with your bowage. You have advantage on this attack roll against it.
Okay. Well, then I'm gonna use my short bow because, as we have addressed, I'm away from all of this.
Right.
All of this drama.
Revy don't do no frogs.
No. 24.
24 is a hit.
Cool. And so, is anyone within 5 feet?
You have advantage because of the spell.
Yes.
Yep.
See how I set you up?
You set him up, she knocks him down.
Oh,
Yep.
perfect. So
Teamwork.
then let me add some
Friendship.
stuff. Was that 14? 14 damage? Math.
That could very well be
14
math.
damage, yes.
Math just happened right before your very eyes, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, a hand, please, for the math.
Thank you. Thank you.
Excellent stuff, excellent stuff. You shoot it with a... In fact, I have the sound here that it makes. And another one of its tentacles gets kind of like skewered through like a kebab by the arrow. Blood pouring everywhere. It's kind of like a green, sickly blood, almost like a pus from this creature.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, then. Desira, it is your turn.
I'm in the water, aren't I? Am I? No, I'm on the land. Where am I?
I think you were in the water last we
I think you were in the water,
I
yeah.
have a
Okay.
note which says Louise in water lol.
Okay,
which would
that's
seem
weird.
to
That
suggest...
sounds trustworthy. I'll go with that. I will send 3 magic missiles to
Magic whistles.
magic
They
whistles-
whistle
magic
as they
whistles.
go.
I'm gonna send 3 magic whistles to it, and as I'm trying to get up and out of the water, so that's 9 damage
9.
to it. 9.
Right. Excellent stuff. He's looking wounded. He's looking bloodied. These missiles whistle into him and sucker him pretty good. Anything else you'd like to do? Zero.
Can I get out of the water, perhaps, on my turn?
Let's see. I'll let you make an acrobatics check at this point.
Thank you. I would love to do that. There we go.
Oh, athletics, actually, I'll be kind, because you're pulling yourself out of the water rather than
yeah.
jumping.
That's 17.
17, the perfect number. Yes,
Perfect
you're
number.
going to pull yourself to dry land if you'll move and find yourself on the island with the frog statue upon it. Excellent. Okay, this takes it to the Frogmoth's turn. He is looming above Bartleby and looks pretty hungry, as Bartleby's been pretty charred. He is already pre-cooked at this point, and the creature looks pretty ready. He's within 5 feet of him, so he's going to take his multi-attack, 2 tentacles. Yeah, one of his bite. All right. So, ooh, yes. All right, we'll tentacle him first. I've got his sheet up here so I can see his arm class. He didn't have any spells up last I recall, because he was pretty down and out. A 17 is going to hit Bartleby Baxter for... Owie. Man, I forgot how good this thing was. I forgot how great my ridiculous monster of doom was. Oh, is that how many die? Oh dear. So Barbie goes down. 0. Good. And then you see Barbie on the floor, on the ground, just get like slammed down with this tentacle. And then it's going in with the mouth once again to try and get back his stolen prize. It's going to bite Bert, backstabby Barter on a 21 for that is going to hit. And that's 3d 10, 20 damage. So he's at minus 20. His hit point total is 39. And he's inside. At the start of each of Frogmoth's turns, going to start taking more damage. You just see Bert just get slammed down with his tentacle, knocked out completely unconscious, his body bruised, his arms broken by it, and the creature just stuffs him into his gullet, and you see him disappear. That is the frogmoth's turn.
By any chance, did the frog have to get close enough for us to get an opportunity attack?
He was standing over him, so I'm going to be cruel to be kind and say no. The range is actually 10 feet on it, so...
yeah, that tongue.
He could have gone with tentacle, yeah. Alright, that is Frogmoth's turn. Top of the round, Ubo.
Okay, well, Ubo, after witnessing the reacquisition of the gnome, he continues to back up as he fires another volley into this thing. But this time with his first shot with Hunter's Mark up already, he is going to also, if he hits, add in a little Planner Warrior and see if that works.
Ooh, little zing-a-zing.
Little bit of column A, little bit of column B. Alright, that's going to hit on a 26, is that? Or is that straight 20? Nice.
26, and dirty. And then extra 3 points of force, so it's all force now. As when he pulls back his bowstring, the string and the arrow itself turn into raw energy, and he lets it fly for 16. And Hunter's Mark on top of that. Oh, another 2. So
nice.
Lets it fly, and then immediately strings and fires another. 10?
10 is not going to hit, unfortunately.
Okay.
So the total damage from that first hit was...
18.
18,
Wow.
alright.
Nice.
That's going to happen now. Alrighty, yeah, this thing's starting to look pretty wounded. It's like it's eaten... got Bert into its mouth, and it seemed quite pleased with that, and then its arrow just kind of flies with such force into its side, it almost knocks it over, and it garbles unintelligibly. Fulton, it is your turn.
Is he within 30 feet of me? With movement, can I get within melee of him?
You could move towards him with movement, yeah.
Yep, okay, so I'm going to move towards him and try to reach out and... seal this guy's fate. Ooh, do I want to do this? Yes, I want to do this.
Well, do you wanna?
Yep. So I am going to. I reach forward, and I speak to the frogmoth in this weird, using sort of my beast speak to say, "I have seen your death, and it is now." And I channel divinity for Path to the Grave, which makes him vulnerable to the damage of the next attack.
All right.
So setting up my buddy. How's Desira looking? Is she taking damage?
I mean, I've been better, but I'm not bad. I'm kind of all right.
Okay, I'll hold off.
All right.
Then that's all I'm going to do.
Okie dokie, you set him up.
This is where there's an attack that does exactly 39 damage.
Setting up my assassin again.
Well, damn. All right.
Finish this, Revy.
Oh, this always makes me nervous.
It's whatever the next attack is. So if you miss, it's whoever's next.
Okay. All right. Well, all right.
Let's rev this machine up. Let's go.
Yeah, I'll use my short bow because I don't have anything else that can reach him. 21?
21. That's a hit.
Woo! So that's 7, and then... I get to add sneak attack, right?
Full turns within 5 feet, so
Yeah.
Yep.
21 again.
21. So that is doubled to 42, correct?
Correct. He's vulnerable to the damage. I guess the question is sneak attack considered the same damage type? I assume it is because it means that I assume sneak attack is the same
I
damage
think
type, correct?
for the sake of the ease of my maths, that we'll say that.
Okay, so yeah, so then it's double. It's all doubled.
Never went to school. All right, yeah, excellent. My internal math calculator app on Windows tells me that that's a fair amount of damage. This thing is looking very painful. Reverie, describe this very punishing blow to the creature.
Okay, I think I'll probably try and aim for like stomachy area because because of my job here, I'm probably gonna have to get this thing up and like open up his gut after he's dead and try and save Bartleby. So I'll go ahead and try and have like a good starting wound for when
absolutely. And you see this thing as it fails its constitution, involuntarily vomit. And not a voluntary one. One of those. It's not a tactical vomit at this point. He is. You shoot him so hard that he just, and whatever in his gullet is just spilled out. And most of it is just bile at this point because he hasn't really had much time to get anything else in there. And Bert is just released into the water, and he is unconscious, face down. Blood is pouring from him, and he is in the water. It doesn't look like all of the parts of him are as well sealed on as they used to be.
Oh.
That is Desira's turn. Your friend is in the water, and the creature is starting to look like it's in its near-death throes.
Right, well, Bartleby looks fine, so I'm not going to worry about that. That's normal.
It's looking good.
It's looking good. It's looking promising.
Good, Bert. Slap a bit of grease on, he'll be fine.
Give Bert a big old thumbs up, like, yes. And then
finger guns.
Fire her crossbow, which is going to be, if it goes, that's it. Well, it rolled 3 times for some reason. I don't know why. You can take whatever number you choose.
Take the first roll, I guess. Is a 15?
Yes, so that's a 15.
15 is a hit.
Yes. So that is 8 damage. And then, because I get an extra attack, would I be able to use the nat 20 that I accidentally rolled as my next move?
Sure thing.
Yay! Yay!
Sure thing.
That's a nat 20, and that is...
Only because it's cinematic. And I think you might get the killing blow on it.
Yay. So that's 16 total.
And let's see. Got to go to the lab to get the maths.
I'm waiting for the results. I'm waiting.
Oh, and the results are in. You are not the father. No. It is not quite dead.
Oh my god.
Super close. You see it just like, and his
Now,
tongue is
like
like
blind
lashing
one
out.
of its eye stalks of one of the arrows.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Its eye stalks are kind of bloodied and bruised and bleeding and dripping into the water. Its murky green water is now running red with its own blood and that of Bert's too.
So gross.
All right, so that takes it to the frogmoth's turn. You know what? It's pretty annoyed at you, Desira.
I mean.
I mean, what can I say? So he is gonna slap you with tentacles.
Oh, great.
Because that is his MO, his prerogative. 22.
I mean, yeah.
All right, the second attack we'll roll at now is an 18.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, what can I say? You take 20 damage on the first hit, which
Hey, remember when I said I was fine?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Remember that time.
Remember those times?
And then 19, you take
I'm
49
down.
points of damage.
Which is exactly 39.
Yeah, 39, you're right, I can't do maths. I never claimed that I could. That was dead on the money, you're right. You were like, I'm at 39 HP, I'm fine, and then I dealt 39 damage.
I can't.
Well.
You know what? I mean.
Well, you know
I
what?
go down.
It happens.
I am down.
Desira goes
Bye,
down.
everyone.
Good night, sweet prince. That is Desira's turn. Can we get a full TPK? It's looking unlikely, but we'll try. Ubo, it's your turn.
Kill it.
Ubo sees the high elf go down, and he immediately clips his bow into his back and runs forward
I'll save her. You kill it.
jumps on the elf and casts Cure Light Wounds.
Okay. Cure them wounds.
For 5.
5. Back on 5.
All right.
Take away the
And-
tombstone.
Then with his bonus action, he lays on top of her and brings his arms and legs in and turns into a shell shield.
Oh, I love it. That is amazing.
Nice. What a hero.
That is awesome. Okay, that was cool. That was cool.
In a half shell.
Never mind. I'll kill it.
Never, you know what? You do you.
You do. You.
All right. It's Ubo's turn. Shells up. Shells out. Bells out. I don't know. Fulton, it is your turn.
So I'm right there
Yeah, right
within
next to him.
touching distance of it. So I reach out and let me see if this hits. 24 hits, yeah?
24 is going to be a hit. Yeah.
I reach out with a hand that is turned from green, goes to the dark sort of coffee color, and then starts to turn black as it's almost like a deathly blighted hand is reaching out towards him.
Relatable.
And I cast inflict wounds on this frogmoth for 17 damage as this blighted sort of spores emerge out of Fulton's hand and begin to sort of infect this writhing giant frogmoth.
All right. Let me see. Let me do some maths here, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, he's trying. That is enough. How do you kill it?
Yes.
How do you want to kill this thing, Fulton? As you reach out and touch it, how does it die?
Yeah, so you see, this sort of what looks like the beginning of an infection sort of like starts running through his bloodstream, and you see all of his veins start to stick out and sort of turn black. As you can see this infection sort of go and crawl up over, over the frogmoth's face. Its tongue starts to loll out in black as you just see basically disease take over it, and then the veins just sort of burst and create these horrible wounds all over it as it just sort of dies from the wounds inflicted from this disease that Fulton infected him with.
Nice. You hear it roar out in pain, and it's going to splash down into the water as its life fades from its gigantic body, and it begins to float in the water and then slowly sink down into the pool that it came from, next to Bert, who is still, I will note, in the water. So we are going to stay in the turn order for just a few more moments here.
Wow.
Fulton just went. Fulton, do you want to move any?
Well, actually, is he within? Is
Bert.
Bert within 30 feet of me?
Yeah, he's within 30 feet.
I am going to cast Cure Wound. Not Cure Wounds. I'm going to cast Healing Word on him. And since he is at 0, correct?
No, unfortunately.
Well, he is not. He does not have positive numbers.
He definitely does not have positive numbers.
So I'm going to try this because whenever I bring someone back from 0 or at 0 or dead or whatever, my healing spells from Grave Domain do max healing if
Okay.
there's anything left
To
be
heal,
healed.
right?
Yeah. So let's see if there's any little blink of life force left within our buddy. So that would be I rolled it as
rolled it,
max
yeah, you
damage.
rolled it.
So 4. So it's 8. So, but does it take?
Yeah, you try to, you put your kind of hands on him, try if you get the equivalent of like resuscitating him as he's down in the water, and as you're you kind of grab onto his leg to hold him in the tide as the water is moving from the frogmoth, the leg just tears off and begins to float away. It was very loosely on there, and the blood just spills down into the murky waters, and your healing just does not take whatsoever, and he is just floating down his tiny little body, and he is dead.
Can I at least get his body?
Yeah.
So Fulton, because he's only 2 feet tall, little Bert, and here's Fulton 8 feet. They're able to take his body or what's left of it in one hand, and he brings him out of the water onto the island and goes, "It was in fact your time, my little friend. At least you went while you were still you, and still unchanged by the magics of this place. Rest well. We will remember you."
Can I run over to where he is?
Yeah, you guys are out of
Okay.
combat now as the immediate danger is gone.
Yeah, I'll do that. And I'll like run over to where he is and say, "Can you do something? I've seen you heal people that look, well, not worse, but you can do something, right?"
He's gone.
But I mean, what does that even really mean? We can get him back, right? We can get him back.
The death curse. My magics cannot fix him now. To bring him back, there is nothing left. The curse is blocking the healing magic, even resurrection. The curse has been going on too long. He sort of looks down. He's too frail. There's nothing left to bring back, even if it would be sick. There's nothing.
We should bury him. Sorry, excuse me, friend. Would you mind getting off of my chest, please? I thank you, but I want to stand.
Ubo comes back out of his shell.
Of course.
Right. Well, thank you. She'll hobble, still quite injured, to her feet. He should be buried. He is in Jolt. He should have a Joltian burial.
Reverie is like very obviously shaken by this, and like she's got her hand on the hilt of her sword and is like visibly very, very angry with Fulton. And she's like, I know that you're not bringing him back on purpose, and I know that you planned this. This is your fault.
What? Fulton?
There's nothing. I point to her hands. You know yourself. There's only so far my magic can do in this
I only
place.
know that there's only so much that you want to do. I know what you're doing here. I know what your whole plan is.
What?
Oh, don't play dumb with me. I know. And so did he, and that's why you killed him. You knew that he knew.
I'm trying to stop this curse. I'm trying to stop Asarak from ascending, from killing all the other gods. What we're all trying to accomplish.
Reverie, what do you mean?
She's like frantically looking back and forth at both of you, and like doesn't really know what to say, and is like shaking in anger and like sweating, and starts stuttering, and she's like, he told him, and he knew, and he came when we.
Who came? Reverie, breathe with me, okay? In and out, okay. Who came? Who told you?
When we went to that psychic lady with Miles, my guild leader, he came and he told me that he told me what Fulton was doing. He told me everything.
And what did he tell you that he was doing?
She looks over at Fulton and like kind of eyes him, basically seeing how he's reacting to her saying this, if he looks like he's about to attack or something like that. And she says, he told me that Fulton was going to kill me, and he was bad, and he was going to kill her. He said he said that he was bad and he was going to kill all of us, and I trust him. I know he would never lie to me. He's been protecting me this entire time, and he wasn't lying.
Reverie, are you sure it was him? It was a vision or a dream, perhaps. It was not
No, it was
him
a
in
vision.
real life.
I talked to Bert about it. I sat down with him, and he said it was a vision. And he said he'd been getting visions, and that I had to be right. And now he's dead. And you're not bringing him back.
It is outside of my power. I only guard the boundary between life and death. I cannot manipulate it. I can only do the magic that is fated to be. This was his time and his place.
Reverie, I know you are hurting, and I am sorry for what happened to Bartleby, but as of now, we have no definitive proof that Fulton is a traitor. We have no definitive proof that he is not. We are in a crossroads. What we do have is a mission and a goal and a tomb in front of us.
Did any of you get weird dreams or visions or anything when we went there? It couldn't have been just me.
Yes, I did. I was visited by my goddess, Sethanane. She came to me, and that she told me that she is dying, along with the other gods, and that the only way to defeat the evil within this tomb is to use the old magic of Chult itself. The magic of the land that resides within the roots and the plants of this place. Far deeper and stronger than anything that learned magic or religion has ever dreamt of. And that is what will thwart the soulmonger. And that when the time came, I could call upon her so that I could harness and bring forth that magic and channel it to stop this from plaguing our whole everything that we know.
Desira will think for a moment, and did I have a vision? Because as a player, I wasn't here. Did I have any visions or thoughts?
Did I have any thoughts? Yeah.
Did I think anything?
Tell me about my feelings.
Yeah. Explain to me my feelings. Well, why do I hurt so much? You definitely were given a vision of this place that you're in now, and of a giant snake creature which exists here, and it was a warning. You didn't speak directly of anyone, though. You had a series of images and visions which flashed before you, which didn't have much meaning, and you've had to read into them, basically. But you definitely experienced strange things there.
I too experienced something, not a conversation like yourselves, but I saw this place. I saw monsters, giant snakes and the like, and it told me, well, I think it was telling me to be careful and cautious. And that is what I have been, and that is what I will be.
Reverie looks back at both of you, and then her eyes land on Fulton, and she says, do you think that was really her, then, that came to you and told you that? Do you believe that vision?
I have faith and hope that it was. But I also now question if you were so fooled by a vision, was I so blinded by my own faith and hope that maybe I was fooled as well? But my people are connected to the land, and our traditions and stories talk of a deep magic, the root of magic, the weave that underlies all magic that comes in religious tomes or focuses or spell books. And perhaps when you're dealing with something that affects the gods themselves, that is the only hope that we have. So yes, I have faith.
The people of Jolt need us. My people need us. And the key to helping them is perhaps in this tomb, and I am going in. Now, we can trust each other or we cannot trust each other. I do not mind. I do not care. But we have a job to do. If you want, I can stand in between you, perhaps, as we are walking, if you still do not trust, until some miracle occurs where we can all get along, perhaps. But
at this point, Uba will walk over and come to the rest beside Bert and look down at the gnome's body. And to no one in particular, but with an emphasis when he's kind of scanning to Desira, he says, "Did you like him? Did you love him? If you did either, put him to the torch. Don't leave him here in Shalt." And he just steps away.
He has a point.
yes.
Well, it was my job to protect him. And although I can't keep him alive, I can protect him from the
Returning.
curse.
You did all you could, Beverly.
I
No one
still
could have
feel
asked you to do more. There was nothing you could do. He was burnt and in the water and in the body, and there was nothing you could do.
Fulton takes a deep breath, and as though he's contemplating something, and he looks to her, and I know you don't trust me now, but if you would like to say goodbye, he can speak to us for a moment before he passes on.
Well, there's something that I'm confused about now. That I guess everything has sort of come to light. That you both had visions. I had a vision. And I talked to Bert about it, and he told me to my face that he didn't have one there that was like that. And now I'm curious if that was even true. And if he did have one, if it was against me. I don't know. I feel like I don't know who I'm supposed to trust or if I'm even supposed to stay here.
Trust yourself, Beverly. It is all that you have and all that you need. You do not need to trust anyone else. Frankly, I have not trusted anybody in about 100 years. You do not need anyone.
Fulton looks and goes, "Well, it is not always true. Many people have said that when you speak with those before they pass over, that they often can give you insight and tell you truths that they were unable to tell in life. We not only can say goodbye, we could perhaps implore him, if he did have a vision, to let us know what it was."
All right, but before we do that, there is something I should. Never mind. Yes, let's do that.
Okay. Before we do this, just in case, because we haven't done anything like this in Cholton. Cholt is weird right now.
Correct.
I'm gonna heal my buddy Desira just in case.
Thanks, man. I was about to ask.
I'm not saying that Will's gonna be an awful, horrible person and have us attacked by a dead Bartleby, but it's Will. So
Wow, I am hurt and
that's nice.
And
I mean,
I am upset.
20 points of healing to my friend Zira.
There you go.
Yes, I'm just over halfway done. Ha ha. Ha ha. Feeling spry. Let's go
Feeling
to a
spry.
tomb.
And on that note, and then I always try to keep that 3rd level spell around for the Revivify, but for this one, because we're in Chult, I had it prepared. I'm going to cast Speak with the Dead on our little buddy.
I can see see the sweat beads on their faces right now. All right. So, what does this look like, Fulton?
So
What's in the spell?
it's sort of very ritualistic. He has this dream catcher around his neck that he wears. He has the half moon of Sethene on his forehead, and he has this dream catcher that sort of the loom of the dream catcher is like a crescent moon. And he takes that off, he sort of unhooks it from the round and leans down over Bartleby, and he passes it sort of across his body several times as though catching the soul itself, and then holds it over top of his face. And as he does that, he calls out to Bartleby, asking if he's there, and the corpse doesn't move or, sort of, there's no action of the corpse that even would ever resemble like becoming undead. What happens is the voice comes from the vibrations of the strings of the dream catcher itself, as though almost playing a musical instrument, that as they vibrate, you have this almost musical voice emerging from beyond the grave of little Bert Bartleby Baxter.
Yes, from Bert's body comes that sound. Excuse me. I thought I was rather gone there. What's? Where am I? Who's calling? I leave a message, yeah, if you can.
But it was your time, but I believe you sacrificed yourself to save us.
Dear man, I must have... Oh, so I am dead. No bother.
Unfortunately.
Sorry.
It's awful
But
in here.
you looked very cool.
Good.
It was quite an epic.
Well, that's very important. Make sure that the mages back home know how I went.
Oh yes, we will make a new musical about you.
Yes, you will be memorialized in song, in both death as you were in life.
Well, yes, I'm rather afraid of passing on to the next point. I see darkness ahead.
And Fulton looks to him and goes, I can guide you and make sure you'll find your way home, my friend. But we wanted a moment to say goodbye, and we're wondering if you had anything you could tell us that you might have in all your research and study, and perhaps even if you had visions other than your dreams that you could share with us now before you depart and we take you back home.
Right, yes. Well, I suppose I did rather have a vision back there, though it was rather awful. That's why I'm afraid now, you see. Saw Miles, the real Miles. His soul was caught, trapped in the Soulmonger. That's where I'm headed now. I fear that you cannot guide my path, my friend. To see my friend, Miles, the real one. He's trapped in there, and well, I will be too soon.
When we break this curse, you will both be free.
Yes, yes. Our souls will return to true path, as the stars would say. I'm worried, though. I'm afraid.
Don't be.
We
You have
will-
all you need.
we will break this unnatural, unholy thing. We will do to save you, to save Miles, and to save them all.
Yes, Tomb of the Nine Gods. That's where I'd be headed if I were you. It's certainly where I'm headed.
I will try to hold you here as long as I can, but I feel now that tide pulling you away from your true destination.
Yes.
Zira's going to look towards Reverie.
Do you have anything else to ask, Reverie? Anything else to help you maybe understand better?
She says, I'm sorry that I'm the one who you trusted to protect you, and I failed and couldn't do it the way that you needed, and it's my fault, and I'm sorry.
Hogwash, you did a great job. I was just, well, the whole tongue and the tentacle thing got rather out of hand. I don't blame you at all, Reverie.
Thank you. I only wish I could have seen the epic letter of recommendation. I'm sure you would have written.
I wrote it the very first day we met. It's in my backpack. Signed and sealed. Figured you should have something in case I, well, didn't make it out of this whole thing. There's a letter in there for Miles as well.
I'll be sure to get it to him. The real one, when we
Yes.
save him.
Thank
And I'll
you.
make sure that my bags are lighter when I make him carry them.
Yes. Good lad. Love him like my own son.
Ow, my heart.
Going to miss you all.
Likewise, friend.
We will save you.
I've already
I will
been
know-
saved, my friend. Already been saved. Time I spent with all of you, it gave me a whole new perspective on life. The travels we had together, best time of my life. Wouldn't trade it for the world. You saved Miles.
I will always have you riding on my shoulder, little friend.
Well, one last
Sleep.
one last thing before I go. The letter there it needs a few signatures. Well, I had filed some papers back in Neverwinter for Miles to become, well, true family, as it were. Doesn't have any parents, and I'd like him to have everything that I do. You could sign as witnesses and send that back to Neverwinter when the time comes. If you can save him, I would appreciate that.
Consider it done, friend. Consider it done.
Of course.
Goodbye. My friends, I love you all. Except for that turtle, don't know him very well. Don't let him replace me.
Let there always be a voice.
Never.
Fulton tries to hold on to somehow keep Bert's spirit within the dream catcher, but with his last words, the vibrations and the singing of the strings of the dream go silent as his soul is not pulled toward the light, but into the darkness.
And that's where we're going to head to our first Tomb
Yeah,
Insight
I was gonna say,
for
go
the
Tomb
day.
Insight.
Give the players a chance to step out of things for a moment, have a little cry, have a little chat together. We have our first Tomb Insight of the day. We'll see these players again in a few moments' time, and we'll join back into the gameplay. But until then, good luck, players. We'll see you in a couple of minutes' time. All right. So let me see here. Let's head over here to our first tomb insight of the day, which I'm actually going to talk about player character deaths. Ended up bringing this one in a little sooner than I figured in this campaign. It's actually a sad moment for me as well as a dungeon master. I mean, I know that I play up to the evilness, but it is a very sad moment. Dealing with player character deaths, and also dealing with player absences as well. Unfortunately, the way that Josh's schedule has just turned up and his scenario that's going on with his life at the moment means that he's not available for these sessions. So means that we've had to find a solution to the story of Bartleby Baxter. And I think that's the most important thing when it comes to player character deaths. It's about when a character's dying and we know that it's going to happen. Maybe you've spoken with the player about this at the end of a season. Maybe you know that they're having to leave the group. They want to go out in a blaze of glory rather than just walking away from the group for some reason. It's about ending the story that the character had to tell in the tale. And Sydney's off screen there. She's going into the bathroom to cry, I think. Oh, man. It's about, finishing the story that the character had to tell. And for me, as a dungeon master, it then became my role, because Josh couldn't make it even to this session, to figure out what Bert would have wanted to say, what his story was, and where that was leading. And it always seemed to me to be about Miles, the relationship that, that kind of father-son relationship with Bert and Miles, and the scenario that they had going on there, and the fact that his character always played the fool, as though he didn't really care about much and didn't truly care about the people that he was with. He was just kind of there as a bit of comedy relief. But I felt like it was fitting for the last session, the last few moments of Bert, for there to be a moment of seriousness where he seriously confronted everything in his life, really. His friends, the life that he lived, the new life that he found with meeting these companions, and getting that chance to say goodbye is another very important thing, I feel, in player character deaths. It can be very frustrating as a player when your character dies. Suddenly, you trip over and you take 1 hit point of damage, you fall down, a rock hits you on your head and you die. And you never get a chance to, say the grand speech that the character wants to say at the end, or say the goodbye. That's quite important for the player as well, to get some feeling of saying goodbye to the character. Hopefully I did that justice for Josh, but I recommend giving the player themselves the chance to say goodbye in character as well, to have that feeling of having come full circle with the character and have told the story that you want to tell of them. For me, when I play as a character, every character I have has some kind of story that they want to tell, some points that they want to make, and that I, as a player, wish to address with that character. And if you don't get a chance to tell that story, it can feel frustrating, because it's almost like the story is never finished. And at the end of the day, having an ending to a story sometimes can be very, very powerful feeling. Strings like Clapton plays the guitar. Thank you, Greg. Yeah. So there's a couple of things that I try to do. I'd rarely try and kill characters personally in my own games, unless either we need to, because it's just the player can't be there anymore. It's come to a natural point in the story, and I will usually have a brief conversation with the player before it happens as well. It could even be something as much as, are you okay with your character dying at this point? Or sometimes players will approach me and say, I feel like the time has come where at this stage I'd like the character to go down in a blaze of glory. And of course, as a dungeon master, I am there to help facilitate that as well. That can be the case in a boss fight where the character sacrifices themselves at the last moment, takes a couple of hits, and I, as a dungeon master, focus in a couple of attacks that the monster might have been taking against other characters towards that character, so that they can get the ending that they want. Ultimately, I feel that my job as a DM isn't necessarily to just kill all the characters and kill them, as we've talked about before in a couple of other Tomb Insights, but to help them, she's crying again, help facilitate the story that they want to tell, and that's why I'm here, to help them. And if I can help do that in any way, then that's what I'm going to try and do. So, yeah. Something to talk to players about, I feel like. How would you feel if your character died? You can set these things at the beginning of the game as well, and at session 0, let's setting expectations that we talked about. How do you feel if a character died? You can mention as well that death is a very real thing in this campaign. We're playing a meat grinder rules. It's something that may very well happen in the Tomb of Annihilation. But this is one of the biggest points about this series when I was thinking about learn by play. I was thinking with Tomb of Annihilation, there's so much possibility for death, and there's a lot of talk and there's a lot of hype around how many TPKs you might get, how many characters might die, and how the DM is said to be this evil villain. Even in a campaign like this, it feels to me as though, yes, it's Tomb of Annihilation, yes, it's on a harder difficulty mode, but it's still that opportunity for the characters to tell the stories that they want to tell. And it doesn't have to be meaningless deaths, even in Tomb of Annihilation. If characters die, yes, maybe they will, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they have to mean nothing and that the death has no value whatsoever. Something that I've learned as a DM is if you kill loads of players and loads of characters, hopefully you don't kill players in real life. Who would do that? Have been charged. If you kill characters all the time, death loses its kind of potency, loses its value, and that's something that I really love about the Tomb of Annihilation. I love that the death curse is in place and really hammers home that kind of, you can't just be revived and then death means nothing, or less than it would. And so I love the Tomb of Annihilation for that. I love getting a chance to tell the story within this world. So I highly recommend thinking about how death is going to work in your campaigns, talking with your players about how the character death might work out, and of course you don't want to end up with your player being really salty and really, like pissed off with you about it. Obviously you're not trying to just ruin their fun, so make sure that you have some kind of conversation with them about it beforehand. If you feel like they might be upset if you just randomly kill their character. So those are a couple of things on player character deaths. I think we will talk a little bit about dealing with player and DM absences next. We'll have that, we'll go in the wrong order. But if you guys have any questions about dealing with player character deaths, I'll give you guys a couple of moments here to throw them at me in chat, and I'll try and get to a couple of them. I know that the last session we did this, I didn't get to as many as I would have liked to have done. So if you have any questions, feel free to. If not, don't worry about it. But those would be my main points for dealing with the character dying. And think about as well, maybe you're not playing in Tomb of Annihilation, maybe you're playing in your own homebrew world, your own campaign world. Think about how resurrection works, and does it work? Are there priests on the corner who can just revive everyone? How much does it cost? How strict are you going to be on the rules of the spell or resurrection or revivify? Consider these options. Is there anything in the world that is stopping that? Is there anything in the world that is counteracting what may just be in the player's handbook? I think it's always worth thinking about. I run a campaign named Turncloaks. It's a podcast on iTunes you can listen to, but it's very low fantasy, very low magic kind of world. There's, essences of magic here and there starting to come into the universe, but I feel very strongly about this. I thought a lot about it, and I talked to the players about this as well, and they know very well that there are not priests on the corner who can resurrect people. Resurrection as an idea doesn't tangibly exist in that world, so that's something worth considering with the players. Where's the Cthulhu happening on this channel? We play Call of Cthulhu on Encounter Roleplay on Wednesdays, but I don't believe the D&T channel does it. Juicy, had my first PC dev as a DM yesterday. How do you deal with a player now practically excluded of the game, while you still need to continue with the rest? That's a very good question. We talked about pacing before in the game, in our sessions about when to bring things in. Sometimes you can't predict exactly when a character is going to die. You roll out nat 20 and it turns out that this scene happens before that you were expecting it to. Something that you can do for the rest of those 3 hours before they bring in a new character. Of course, they could be working on a new character sheet. I've known players to really be into that and like, all right, great, I'm going to start rolling a new character sheet now. You can get them to play NPCs in a campaign. Now you take over this NPC for the rest of this campaign, the rest of the session, so that you can still play and still be a part of it. You can even have them play monsters or villains. That's a great thing to do. Like just pass them a note, like you're going to play this villain in a few moments' time, and you can have fun of it, and you can play whatever you want for the rest of the session. And then next session, and later on, we're actually going to be talking about introducing new PCs into your campaign, because that's something we're actually doing today. So I hope to be able to show you guys that, and then talk about some of the points in today's session as well, when bringing in the new PC. But yeah, I'd suggest just throw them an NPC, throw them a monster to play, let them have a fun time, and just give them something a little bit different to do, You don't want to feel like they're excluded. You don't want to feel like they're completely left out. And, well, I've got another 4 hours that I'm here and now I get to do nothing. That would suck. So give us something fun to do. How do you not cry while killing Bert? I've killed too many. Dyslexia, I've killed too many. That's my problem. Alright, let's get to a couple of questions. We're going to come back to the gameplay now. Let's go back to our players and let's see how they are feeling at the moment. So, players, welcome back. How are you guys feeling? How
I
are we
don't
doing?
feel welcome.
I don't feel... Well, it's better than not feeling anymore, like me. So, we'll pick up the scene from where we left off. Orvex, Akramis is there, of course. As you said farewell to Bert, the groupie there. Ubo is there as well. Orvex is like, we probably should think about a burial or burning or something as mentioned. And of course, looking into the, not to be insensitive, but we really ought to look into the shrine, that puzzle piece.
Yes, this was the bravery, and I think we have certainly shown, our little friend here has shown the truest example any of us could have. But yes, his remains.
They should be burned, as our thoughtful friend said. It is not quite the most traditional of burials that I would have liked, but it ensures that nothing can be done with him now.
Will, can we hand wave this with Fulton on using cantrip Sacred Flame to...
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll, it's a little flavor, a little wilderness flavor. Fulton goes down and goes, if you'll allow me. He starts to chant, and you see his hands start to glow almost white hot. And whereas on the frogmoth, you sort of saw this sort of black blight go through him, you see this sort of white golden light emanate from his hands. And basically you just see Bert's body turn into sort of just almost like fireflies, just sort of like sparks off of a campfire, and just whoosh, and then blow away in the wind.
Feels bad, man. The sprites kind of flicker away and fade, and Orvex says, right, well, dear oh dear, I suppose we, who are you, by the way? Looks towards the tall, fascinating creature. My name is Orvex Okramis of the Red Mages of Fae, Red Wizards of Fae. Pleasure to meet you. Or formerly of them, I suppose. Now I'm just a scribe of Leeslot.
A pleasure. Ubo.
Ubo. He starts making notes. How old are you, Obo?
As close to 50 as one can be without being 50.
Right. 51. See. Good, good. Well, if you don't mind, I will be taking notes upon you and your performance. It's not a test, merely just for my own studies, throughout the rest of your time here. I presume that you'll be traveling with these bunch, or are you off?
We could use all the help we could get, friend.
Seems like they're
Quite a fighter.
Man down, as it were.
I do not believe that I can replace the person that was lost, but I believe we are here with like minds.
Right.
It is not about replacement, it is consider it addition. Just a new friend.
Addition via subtraction. I like it.
So, Orvix, what can you tell us of this shrine?
Right, well, I believe we had a brief conversation about this before, which it is the shrine of, now let me see here, Kubazan. Kubazan, well, looked a little bit like that, points towards the mass of frogmoth in the water. So you've gotten through the first challenge, and the second one, we'll see within. Bravery is the key word here. So be brave, and probably should take a look inside the shrine itself, whilst I wait out here, taking notes.
How brave of you. Let's go.
Well, it's... yes. Bravery comes in very many forms, my darling. Chiefly of which the scholarly.
Right, of course. How could I forget?
You think this quill sharpens itself?
Right. Be careful you do not get a paper cut whilst we are gone.
Yes, awful things. My skin is very papery and dry, so it keeps happening. Oh, you're being... Oh, I see. Yes, no. Well played. Stinging blow.
Zero will start. She'll just be like, okay, she's gonna start going.
Yeah, head towards the shrine. Again, I guess carefully looking for traps or anything else. Actually, I cast Find Traps last time. I know.
Yes, you found that there is. Let me double check. I believe it was the alarm spell. No, Glyph of Warding.
Yeah,
Yes,
the
there
Glyph
was
of
a
Warding.
Glyph of Warding within the 100 or 20 feet or so that you could sense, but you're not sure where it is.
Right. I just played one player to all the other players. I suck at Arcana, so don't know if any of you guys. Actually, Jazira has the closest thing to magic as we know, right?
I guess.
We used to have a wizard, didn't we? Oh,
I know, we kind of had this wizard.
Oh, yeah, sorry about that, guys. Wow.
I will do an Arcana check with what little I have. That is a
Ooh.
Not bad. Not bad.
15.
15. What exactly are you trying to arcanize? You see this locked gate before you, basically, is what is in front of you. And your friend will help translate the script. Orvex will say, reads, Kubazan urges us to tread without fear and to give back as much as we take.
My thought was we were looking for the Glyph of Warding since we know it's here. We just don't know where.
Yeah, as you look around this locked gate on your 15 Arcana, there is a Glyph of Warding upon the lock of this locked gate.
That's nice to know.
Yes, I will relay that information. If we are to give back what we take, perhaps I should try to bandage myself up just a little bit. Can I try and medicine myself?
I mean, I'm getting low.
I have a healing potion.
Ooh.
If you want it.
Actually, wait, so do I. Why am I not listening?
Yeah, that's.
I'm just like,
this is a terrible
bandages,
plan.
like, what am I doing?
Give you shots.
I hate to say this, but did Bert have one or anything that he didn't use?
That's probably a set on fire now.
Presumably
I mean,
you have...
I think we each all had one, right?
Yeah, you're...
No, we had two.
We need 2 each.
Yeah.
That we bought. That was it, right?
You can recover his stuff. It's wet, but you have it fine.
It's 2d4 plus 2, right?
Also an anti-venom in there for note.
That's right.
Let's see, yes.
That is a 7.
Sjalven.
7.
7.
Alright.
I'd like
Drink
to
it,
also
feel a little
bandage myself a little bit because it's still not looking great. Can I do that?
I mean, the medicine check won't really do anything to heal your health back up, no.
Okay.
I mean, you
Well-
can roll it to feel a little bit better
Okay, I'd love to.
about
Thank
yourself.
you. Thank
What if
you
you,
so
like,
much.
It's
What if you roll on that one and like rip your own
Yeah.
finger
Well,
off?
I got a 6.
Yeah,
So.
it did nothing to help your self-confidence, to be honest.
But now I've got a nice bandage, so you know what? I'm looking good.
Was there enough time there for hit dice after the battle, or was
If you want to
there-
take a short rest, you can let me know.
I'm fine.
It might be a good idea,
Yeah.
but physically and emotionally.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys need it.
I was gonna say. I mean, I'm still at full. I can take lead. I mean, how are you two? I mean, seriously.
I am perfectly fine because I didn't like.
So we'll
I'm
just.
currently 20 points down.
Swing it.
So let's go, and we'll just sort of state it. Don't go
Okay.
charging in. you know.
Okay, I'm going first then. Let's go.
No, I mean, let us go first.
Yeah.
And, if we need to either use our healing potions or whatever, at least I'm worried that if we wait, that something else is going to come before we get inside.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and go. And you go first because I don't know. I got trust issues now with hands and with with you.
All right, so yes, this locked gate is before you. You know that the glyph of warning spell is upon the lock itself. You do not have a key.
Was there anything around the statue? If we do an investigation to see if there's a key somewhere in this?
Yes, if you examine the mouth of the frog statue, a stone key set into the indentation of the statue's tongue rolls out.
Nice.
Handy.
This is so convenient.
It's funny, I mentioned the statue like 20 times, and I was like, by the statue! And you run past the statue.
I kept wanting to investigate, but we were facing a frog.
We were preoccupied.
We were very
It was good. No, I'm
preoccupied.
glad you guys got my not too subtle hints. Great, yeah, you find the key.
Just in case it's still, well, it says go forward without fear. So Fulton steps right up, puts the key in, kink, and hopefully shows bravery before like his hand gets blown off.
Indeed. You do. Blow your hand off, that is. No. No. You open it up, and with a satisfying clunk, the door rolls back. And you see steps descend to a ledge overlooking a pit of sharpened stakes. An alcove on the far wall holds a pedestal with a stone cube resting on it. A relief carved into the back of the alcove shows a monstrous frog with tentacles fighting a crane. And not a working crane, I mean like a bird, like a crane. Wooden beams radiate from the walls at floor height, with 4-foot gaps between them. Carved frog heads extrude from the walls above the beams. This is what you see before. It's pretty dark in here as well.
So there's this pit trap right in front of us.
Pit trap right in front of you, and you've got these wooden beams radiating from the walls at floor height, with 4-foot gaps in between them, and carved frog heads extrude from the walls above the beams. And beyond, there is the monstrous frog with tentacles fighting a crane.
I mean, just making sure. So it's basically balance beams that have spikes on either side of them. Is that what we're seeing?
Pretty much. It looks like to get across, it would be a jumping scenario. The pit is at least 30 feet deep, and looks pretty painful on the bottom of it.
The words were "walk forward without fear," correct?
The words were, Kubazan urges us to tread without fear and to give back as much as we take. The old communist.
Give back as much as we take. Oh, I'm gonna so regret this.
Are you about to just?
I think this is. I think this is like Indiana Jones 3, where you have to. It's the step of faith.
You better really think that.
Truly
Conviction.
believe it.
Right.
But there's these beams. So part of me's like we should walk on the beams, but part of me's like no, have no fear. Or
Yeah.
Okay, well, you can test that theory. We'll watch.
Well, what about the other part? Give back
Yes.
as much as we take.
Have we taken anything
Maybe we
yet?
just don't take anything.
Yeah, what if we just leave everything as it is?
well, but we need the cube.
Just
That's
walk back
remember the
out.
puzzle cubes
Well,
are
we
the
need
key.
to- someone gets another cube.
I
Oh,
like
so
this theory.
Just
yes.
so happens I have this other cube I've been carrying with me for a century. Wow.
I have this bag of sand.
Give back as much as we take. Tread without fear.
Will, can I roll a perception check here just
Yeah.
to kind of?
It's a good idea.
Thanks, buddy.
Welcome, man. I'm always here for moral support.
Ooh,
How's a 22?
22. The relief carved into the back of the alcove with the monstrous frog fighting the crane has a small cube upon it. It definitely looks as though this is the puzzle cube that you were looking for. However, you'd have to get across the wooden beams or across the invisible bridge of faith theory that we're also going with to get to that.
Does there appear that if I slightly change my perspective, that a bridge appears that was cleverly painted to match the vanishing point of, does there appear to be any other type of passage, whether it be along the walls where the balance beams kind of meet? Is it look like by the way, do they run across the room or lengthwise? Across the room, I'm assuming, right?
They run across the room, yes, only on the edges. There does not appear to be an alternate path, other than diving down into the pit and working your way through a bed of stakes. However, you do see that the wooden beams on your 22 appear to be movable. There is a mechanism which would create them to go flush with the wall and retract, and then go back in and retract. Most likely it's weight-based.
Okay, here's the theory. Is that if we give back what we take, we have to retract one of these for each one that we use? Does that make any sense? Like, can we cross this? Can we cross using these things and then, I don't know, put them away? I don't know. Is there a balancing mechanism that if we sit, it's kind of a counterweight that we have to...
Maybe only one person can get over. If they retract, once weight is on them, if someone gets over quickly enough, then they're gone. So only one person can go.
Or maybe it's one person goes and then another person has to come, jump on it, and go to the next one. Like there's always weight kind of on it.
Oh, once you put weight on it, you can't take it away.
You can't take it off because remember there are these things up top that are the frog mouths that look
that might dump acid or something horrible.
Like if you jump and all of a sudden the weight goes off of the first one, then you could get, I don't know.
Give as much as you take.
Right, let's be dexterous then, lads.
You've been historically very good at this.
Okay, if that were the case though, like once. Wait, no. Okay, I like this. Let's do this.
Ubo, go first. How's it? You want me to give it a shot? I have a shell.
We just have to.
Something else.
Yeah.
You have a shell and prepared.
It can only be like we can't all be like traveling at one time because then you see.
Right.
Yeah.
Someone has to go out and test the weight distribution theory and see if it sinks a little bit or if it kind of there's a mechanism that locks in place or if there's some type of movement. So
Right.
I volunteers tribute.
So do you have to leap to get to the first one, Will?
You have to make a 4-foot leap. The DC of which is a 9 acrobatics check.
Right, well, we'll all fail that, knowing us.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot, guys.
Okay.
I mean, unless it's not the course that we want to. Will, I also have something queued up on, like, Ubo has a bonus action queued up just in case things go horribly wrong here.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Can't imagine
I
that
believe
happening.
in Ubo.
I hope so too.
Hey!
How's it 22?
Pretty good. You jump from your starting position to the first beam, and your weight goes upon it, stays there. Hard frog ahead over you does not seem to move or do anything.
Did I feel any type of, like, when I landed there was a shift or a slight movement or...
You felt like the beam went down a little bit due to the weight that you have exerted upon it.
Okay.
It's as good. I think once it's weighted, you can't let. So how many of these beams are there?
15 of them until you reached the pedestal.
Well,
Okay. Well, that's a lot of acrobatics.
And they go around two sides of the room. So Ubo is going down a right-hand path at the moment. There is a left-hand path with the same amount of beams on them as well.
Oh.
So they go... You're in a rectangular room. They are coming out from the walls, and they don't go all the way across. In the middle area is the spiked pit, basically.
Oh, so there's two distinct paths that go through?
Yeah, let me draw you a terrible map and roll 20 just for you players, just for a
Perfect.
second.
Yeah.
So, I'm actually you guys in chat in a second there as well. So you're in this room. There are the... It's going out the wall this way, this way, this way, this way, this way, let's say. This point is the statue you want to be at, with the puzzle cube. And this is starting point
Okay.
here, and then in the middle, there's all pit traps.
Right.
And Ubo's
Gotcha.
gone down the right-hand path.
Oh,
I'll
okay,
briefly
Would it
show
be
you
best
guys
to
my work of art.
separate and
Yeah.
and just in
Yeah, I
case
think
one
that's
side
it.
goes
But
wrong?
do we? Okay, here's like it's a tiny cube, right? Like only one person really needs to grab the cube, you know. So why? Like I don't think it makes sense to have all of us go. You know?
Oh, dude, guys, no. I got it. It's a 4-foot leap, right?
Yes.
What is the DC for an 8-foot leap?
Let me check for you.
To go every other one. Frogs. We play leapfrog.
It's 5 plus the distance in feet between the two beams.
So it's leapfrog. It's
And that
got to
will
be
leave us
leapfrog.
ones to get back. Because otherwise we'll be stuck on the other side.
Well, no, you go around.
Yeah,
So
like
go
they'll
around.
be okay. Oh my god.
wait, no, you're right. No, if two of us go,
The same path and then come back around the different way.
the problem is, so that's the thing is I don't think all 4 of us go across.
I don't either.
Mm.
I think only 2 of us go across playing leapfrog, go up the right and back the left, doing leapfrog.
I agree. Yeah, it's got to be it, man.
I
Mhm.
mean, yeah, it's leapfrog. It's a frog. It's the frog thing.
If this doesn't work, I'm gonna cry because this is great.
Right. Chris Perkins, this better be what it's supposed to be.
It better be
I know
leapfrog.
you can hear me right.
Write it in.
I mean, there's some meta there because leapfrog, but yeah.
For those, this is my beautifully hand-drawn map.
It's so beautiful. It's really nice.
It is
Apparently
beautiful.
it does help, that's good.
Okay, so
So you went to the first one. So I'm going to leapfrog over you to the second one because I think when you get off, no matter what happens, yours is going away. And so that's the problem is you get trapped.
Yeah.
And that's why you leapfrog so that so that 2 people can go across because that whole give and take thing. Oh, wait a second.
You just you should probably
Leave
should've-
whatever you take. What was it? What was the last part of it?
I will read it again.
Thank you. Sorry, I'm going to type
no
it in
worries.
this time.
It read, Kubazan urges us to tread without fear and to give back as much as we take. Tread without fear, give back much as we take.
If we take the cube, we have to somehow give something back to the frogs.
Does as much as it takes mean the same weight or is the same value?
I don't know.
Cool. What do I have in my bag? Let's see. I have some rations. Cool.
I got some healing potions.
I got an insignia of my rank. That's nice. A lantern.
Maybe they don't mean just the cube. If it says give back as much as we take, if we take one of the steps and Tall Squall's right, and as soon as we jump off of it, it gets taken away. You know, we're giving the step as we take the step, we give one away, we take the step, we give one away. It might not have anything to do with the cube,
Right.
or we might all die when we get there.
You know what? I got an idea. Let's go find out.
Right.
Yeah, let's do the leapfrog
Let's
thing and
do
see what
the
happens.
leapfrog thing.
I'm already out there. So yeah.
Go for it. He's already hopped on there. No turning back now. So
So I guess
Reverend
I guess the question is who I've got good athletics, but my acrobatics is not great, but I've got a pile of hit points.
My athletics is great, but I don't have many hit points.
Wait, your acrobatics is good?
My acrobatics is like medium. It's a free. That's free.
How about you, Sydney?
yeah, mine's the same.
Because mine's a 1. I mean, I'm happy to go. It's just
Oh, you're.
because what's the
my
DC? The
guy.
DC will be a 14. It'll be a 14
Why
DC.
would you want to do 8 feet jumps, because then Ubo is not going to be able to reach you.
No, because then he does an 8-foot jump over me.
Over him.
But can he do that though? Because he's not 8 feet tall. Is he?
No. But I think. I mean, these. How long are the logs? I mean, is it Am I like going to be physically blocking him from leapfrogging me? Will?
I mean, it's leapfroggable, let's say. Yeah. Whatever that means.
Barely heard you, buddy.
Oh,
He's muted.
It's leapfroggable, he would say.
Oh yeah, it's leapfroggable. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's
leapfroggable.
leapfroggable.
I was muted on Zoom.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the only other thing is that if how wide's the room? Is the room all within healing word distance? Because then I can heal people at a distance.
The room itself. Wait, what's the range on healing word?
I'm checking right this second. I believe 60. It's 60 feet.
It's you could get someone.
So I can reach the whole room with healing word. So I can stand here, and if something goes bad,
Okay.
but we still got to get you back.
You'll be fine.
I'd be happy to go. I'm at a safe 32, I think.
Well, I'll tell you what. In that case, let me do before you leave. I am going to go ahead and do a cure wounds on you. With my last.
Yeah, see, like, the thing is, you, like, being, like, down 20 right now is at my max.
Wow.
So
Yeah,
There you go. 18 points to Desira.
Nice.
Lovely.
And
You know what?
let's
I'm
let's
almost
try
at
the
full.
leapfrog effect. I could be
Alright.
totally wrong, but
So we can go back from where Ubo you wanted to jump to, but we'll just keep your 22 roll here. So Ubo, whereabouts would you like to have jumped to? Would you have gone to the first one or the second one on the right?
What would you guys want me to do? You want me to go to the first one so she can jump over me?
yeah.
That's the plan, right?
yeah. Or let's stick with what's the plan to leapfrog. So yeah, you just did a great roll and do the short jump. Because the first jump's the short one. Someone has to take the short jump one way or the other.
The short jump is DC of 9, longer jumps DC 13. Acrobatics. So Desira, you're trying to jump over Ubo as he kind of crunches down. DC 13 is the check.
I
Make
go
it
full
full
shell. I go completely into
No,
this.
it's a 6.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding you. It's a 6.
Okay.
Can I grab her as she goes by? If it
Can you
looks like
grab
she
me as I
slips
go
or
by?
something?
Roll me a dexterity saving for Ubo. Of course, you guys.
Please, I go.
How about 12? How's a 12 look at?
12 ain't gonna do it, I'm afraid.
No.
The pit is. You have to make a dexterity save as well, Desira.
Oh, I would love to.
This is so bad.
That's a
Oh,
12.
I love it. A 12 is a save. Okay, that's
Oh.
good. You saved on your 12. However, you do. I mean, you're not out of the woods. You take 6 points of damage. Okay, as you land, and your save saves you from the stakes impaling you. Which would have been really, really bad, actually. So you land in the pit of death, just underneath Ubo, basically. Probably about, let's point out it, about here is where you've fallen. We're not going to deal with tokens on this whole thing or anything. I just drawn it for a representation of what a room looks like.
Okay,
Can I don't know how these spikes are set out, but can I walk just in between them to the end?
The spikes, you would have to go back up the steps, basically. The shrine is high enough that you wouldn't be able to get to the cube by going towards it, and the spikes become so thick that you wouldn't be able to move through them without really cutting yourself bad.
Okay.
So it's kind of go back to the beginning
Back to
sort of
start over.
scenario, yeah.
back to the start.
Yeah, it's
okay.
like a
I
Mario
will
puzzle.
very embarrassed walk back up the stairs.
Does anybody have bless or anything that can help her? Like help us?
I do. I could give you a bless. I'll count. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna be so tapped. So I cast bless on Desira,
Okay.
which gives you a D4 on checks.
Okay. All right. I'm closing my eyes and I'm gonna press the button again. And it's a
Oh.
7.
Roll a d4. Roll a d4.
What is wrong with you, Louis?
Which still still gonna do it.
Is it what? Well,
It's a 1.
With a 1.
Can I try to catch her again, Will?
That's an 8.
Oh, yeah, go on then.
How about a 15?
That'll do it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, but it's not as though you're in a good scenario. What you've done is Desira has tried to jump over you a second time, gone like sailing past. You've like grabbed onto her arms as she's falling down past you, and you are now holding her on your pretty rickety plank. And she is like, it's the end of Indiana Jones 3. She's Elsa, you're Indy. And I hope that's the clearest analogy I could possibly make it, by the way. I can almost touch it in the... you've got her, you've got her arms, basically, and you're clasping onto her.
Can I, flashback, can I have taken
No.
Bartleby's grappling hooks?
I
For a
mean,
keepsake, as a memory?
They may very well be within someone's pack. Let's roll a d4. A d3, actually, because Ubo pretty wouldn't have taken them. So Fulton, Livery, and 0. Fulton on a 1, Livery on a 2, to 0 on a 3. Let's see if anyone has them on him. Yep, Fulton has them, because he is the grappling hook expert.
Because, yeah.
Yeah.
I can kind Normally I'd say, can I toss them to Desira? However, right now I'm worried whether Desira can catch them.
Look, I'm going down that way anyway, so if they fall down, I'll get them.
Indiana.
What's gonna? I guess here's the question: do we want to have Desira keep trying, or I can give it a try. Dice or dice.
I'll try.
So okay, I'll give you the grappling hooks to give this a try. Maybe Desira comes back to me.
Yeah.
Desira, if you Ubo, you can pull her back up onto your plank. However, Desira, you are gonna have to make the DC 9 acrobatics check to jump back to the.
Right.
Okay, come on, you've got bless. All you gotta do is roll you gotta roll another one.
Why, Louise?
Roll.
Why did we let this happen?
That's a
There,
4
she
then.
makes it.
Okay.
Thank goodness.
Thanks for having me, everyone.
This was perhaps some.
Yeah, you thought you were only gonna have one player death tonight.
It's just a comedy of errors. Like, I'll do it. Jumps, falls into pits. I'll do it again. Jumps, fails, almost fails on the way back.
Okay, so these grappling hooks are like tied to to a rope or something.
Correct.
And maybe give you advantage.
No, boy, I'm about to lasso this cube with these hooks. I'm just gonna go try and scoop.
Oh, that's good. We're gonna die.
I
But
wanna try
okay,
and
you do
scoop
you.
it. I feel like we're about to closer to dying.
Oh, we gonna die.
We gone down.
We gonna die.
Okay, well, like, why is that any different than like going and just picking it up? Like,
Right.
Because
have
we're
to
not
replace it or something.
we're not doing the challenge. Remember, this is
These are tricksters, yeah.
that's the thing. This is the second test. It's not just a trap.
I mean, I think you should do it.
Oh
well,
God.
that doesn't encourage me.
But then I also think you should jump.
Wait. Thinking
Yes,
about it,
towards the
just
pit of death.
having a thought, having a brain wave, wouldn't it be easier to have just one person going around the whole way and making
We have to see what
easier
happens.
checks?
Yeah, we have to see what happens when we get to the second one. And I think maybe if we try it, like Ubo jumps to the one where he's on,
And then someone follows him immediately,
right, and jumps to
Yeah.
the same one, and then that person jumps to the next one.
and then that person jumps to the next.
Okay, so how about
That's
we
synchronized.
tie a rope to Reverie so that if Uber then jumps to the next one and Reverie jumps to your one
Chat,
and
this has
it
gotten
goes
so
in,
complex. It's so
she'll
simple.
be safe because of the rope and we can pull her back up.
Yeah, we could grapple to each one that we went to. If we, as long as like when the last person that got there could take it and jump, or first person could take it and jump over, and the trailing person would have a rope at least, like a tight rope. Is that what you're talking about? Like somebody's.
No, I
holding-
mean like
Well, now we're not going without fear. So
right.
I'm gonna need a plan from you guys now. We've spent enough
Okay,
time.
so yeah, I say yeah, we do.
plan.
That makes more sense with the give and take. That we all jump. That we basically synchronize jump. That we do Frogger wise.
All right.
So Ubo jumps off. I'll jump on.
All right. So
tie a rope to
DC
you first just in case.
DC 9 checks from both of you, right? You both open the short ones.
Yep, we're both going at the same time.
All right.
12 for Fulton.
That's good. Both succeed. So what happens when Ubo jumps off the first one onto the second one, the first one immediately retracts and goes shut. There is now a DC 13 check for anyone jumping from the first one to the second point here, basically. So it's kind of retracted back in, like so. This one goes away, and Ubo is now on the second one. And Fulton, you've jumped to the first one here, right?
Yep.
Yep. And you jump, and it holds your weight.
We can't do that because there will be no return trip.
No, that's the thing. Will, I was going to jump on the first one thinking it wouldn't retract.
Oh, okay, sorry. I thought you were going the other way.
So I basically, as I'm in midair, because we were trying to do the synchronized thing instead of doing the leapfrog thing.
Oh, right. Okay, so if you're doing the synchronized thing, roll me
a pit, I assume, because there's nothing to land on.
Yes, indeed you would. Roll me a DC 12 dexterity check.
Oh.
That'd be a 3.
That will be a 3, my friends. Tool School, roll me a D4.
So I'm impaled. This would be the whole thing that would suck if happened. Yeah, that's what I just did. A 3.
Right, so...
Oh, is it I'm on 3 of them?
You 3 stakes slash into you for 22 piercing damage, and you are impaled upon 3 stakes as you fall, as the thing retracts. I actually have a sound for that. There you go.
All right. Do you guys want me to try this? And just
Oh, but if you fail one, then we're boned.
yeah, you're currently at a DC. What is it? 12 to jump to the one where I am now.
You know what, YOLO? I'm gonna try again. I'm gonna take a running leap.
I think leapfrog was the way to go.
Why do we need 2 people to do it? Why just let him go from 1 to 1 and then it'll
But
retract?
if he falls,
Oh my God, no!
and they all
we had
retract,
it.
then
It just has to have.
back.
It just has to have the weight on it. We can do DC 9s all the way across. Oh my God. Just jump up to the one that I'm on. As long as there's somebody on here, we can make the little jump.
No, it's gone.
Yeah,
If
the
we
first one
jump
tracks.
to the next one to get a DC 13, we'll
Yeah,
be all right.
jump up to mine. Somebody jump
I'm
up to the one.
going
that
to try.
You've got the blast still, right?
I
Because
got a
2 people
12.
were on it.
Right.
So I
Yeah,
have
you
bless,
caught her and 2 people were on it.
But
That's
you can
right.
go. Why do you need to keep them up? You can just go around.
Yeah, but
There's another exit path.
But like in case he falls on the way up, and they've all retracted, so we can't
Well, now
get back.
you're doing it with fear. And now you're contradicting the first part of the thing.
Alright, so Louise, you make it to the second one with Ubo.
So you
I
and
will
Uber are
stand
both on one.
victorious.
Now
Okay.
you have to make the jumps at the same time, right? In synchronized, otherwise one of you
Well, we
jumps
don't-
and the way will go off.
we don't know that because I pulled
Yes,
her
you
up to
do,
the
because
one
now you've
before.
doubled the weight on it. So if you take
I was on one
the weight-
before with him, and then I took the. I was
And
off,
then she
and then I
jumped
was
off
fine.
and it stayed where it was.
Sure.
I
Sure,
feel like
yeah.
the lasso plan would have worked fine.
Can I unstake myself and get back to the start point
Yeah, you head back to the start.
dejectedly?
Okay, guys, I'll do whatever you guys think. but
Okay.
I think that why don't we test this? I've got something. You jump to the next one, Louise, and see if this
Okay.
girl can get to the next one.
I
And
would
if-
love
if
to.
it disappears on me, I'm going to try something.
That's a 9. That's just enough, right?
9 is
Yeah,
enough.
you
yeah.
have bless anyway, so.
Yay.
The one that Ubo is on does retract slightly as the weight is lifted from it.
Slightly or all the way?
It's starting to go. It's like slowly going, so you have a limited amount of time on there.
Okay, then can we do this in rapid? Can I jump
Yep.
to the one that she's on?
Absolutely. So on to number 3.
Okay. And then I'd like to go to number.
Oh, there he
Oh
goes.
no, that's a no. No.
Wait. As he jumps, if I feel like I'm going to miss it, I misty step to the one that she's on.
All right,
Oh.
you can do that.
Oh.
All right, there's your get out of jail free card.
I've got one more of those.
So you're on to number 3. So now let's roll these onto number 4.
That's a 12 to get on number 4.
And
Yep.
as soon as she jumps, it starts going back with me, right?
Yep.
The one that I'm on, the trailing one.
Correct.
There we go.
There it is. That's onto number 4. Now
And a
onto number
9?
5 is enough. Yep, 5
Oh
is
my
enough.
God, there we go.
There it is, getting nice and close now. We're on number 5. We're going on to number 6. Let's do it.
That's another 9.
That's a success. That's another success as well. We're on number 6. We're going on to number
7,
7.
but I've got bless, but I've got bless,
got
I've got
bless, you
bless,
got
I've got
bless.
You
bless,
want to
I've
do
got
this
bless.
well. Yes.
four.
All right, we're on
Made
to
it.
number 7.
There we go. I made that one too.
I made it. Got a 14.
All right, both we're on number 7. We're going on to number 8. Almost halfway there, ladies and gentlemen.
22. Yeah. 22.
There you go. All right, you guys are synchronized. That's animal handling, Greg. That's not going to work. All right, same bonus. All right. Okay, so we're on number 8 now. On to number 9. Number 9.
Well, I've got.
put on the tense music.
Bless me, free. I made it.
You make it. All right, so we're on number 9. On to number 10. Double digits now. Can we make it?
Wow.
Oh, that's 20. That'll do it. Uber makes it across as well. On to number 10 now. On to number 11 we go.
Will, how many more?
There are 15 in total. You guys are almost
So
there.
then you have to come back.
And then you have to come back. That's
We'll
a
cross that when we
success.
come to it.
Right? You guys are on to number 11, is that right?
That's 12.
Oh my
12, yeah.
god.
Yes.
Well, on a 17. All right. On to number 11. Now on to number 12 as you guys are crossing the
19,
pit
that's a
of
19.
stakes as a success. 2 successes. On to number 12 now.
That's a 13. That's a 13.
Yeah,
my
12
God.
is a 17 night.
That makes it. So now on to number 13. Lucky 13, everybody. That's a 14. That's a 15. 13. On to number 14. You can see the cube now. It's within your line of sight. It's so close.
Wait a minute.
At an auction.
There's a ledge, right? That, like, we're going around to a ledge.
You're gonna have to jump 15 of them, and then you're gonna have to jump onto the ledge to get to the cube.
If we're at an auction, you're just like yelling out numbers.
don't know.
Do I see 13?
Okay. That's a 14.
14
You do
is
say
a
14.
success. All right, Greg, give me that. That's a 12. That's a success as well. All right, so we're on number 13 at this point. Can we get to number 14? One away. Let's see it.
Yes.
There we
Oh
go.
my god. Oh my god.
There we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the last
17.
roll until you get there. 14 to 15. This is for him. There we go. Now you guys can see the puzzle cube before you. The small little cube which you can hold in your hands. It's on a ledge, and it's within. You can jump to that one easily. You don't need to make a test for that.
Oh. Wow.
All right, so you are
That
now.
was so impressive.
You are now on the ledge. On the other side, to give you guys the map once again, my beautifully carved map, which I did myself, just here. You guys are at this point on the cube, having jumped all the way around 15 of these stakes to get to this point here, where the cube is at. Now, the cube is within picking up distance. What do you guys want to do?
Can I roll a perception check?
You may certainly do so.
22.
Wow.
There is definitely a recession in the economy. No, there's definitely a recession on the pedestal itself. If you were to remove it, I feel like the weight would do something.
So it's weight. Okay. Can I roll also a perception to see if I have anything, or either of us have anything of similar, what looks like similar weight to the cube?
Sure, yeah, you could do that.
So 19.
19 is gonna be good. You reckon this thing? Let's see. Yeah, you reckon this thing? If you had like a large rock, maybe a bunch of your supplies would be heavy enough. A bag of gold,
Good thing I
maybe,
carried around
rations.
this rock with me.
That's right.
Wait a minute. What about the stone key? Would it be the stone key that he used? Was that like
Stone
big enough?
key, Desira think is probably too light, to be honest.
But here's the thing though, if you're already standing on it, then like all of the weight, including what you're carrying, is counted. So when you take this away,
So the only bit of a recession is where the cube is on itself. They are not standing on anything which is
Okay.
weighted at the moment.
Okay.
They're standing on the rocky ledge within arm's
so
distance.
so the ledge is not what would.
Correct.
Yeah.
The weight of the item of the cube itself is what is in question.
Give back as much as we take. So, I mean, I think it's Indy Jones, it, guys.
Yeah, we need something of similar weight. So did I?
A ration? Do one of your rations.
You guys better share with me then.
We have Bartleby's.
Oh yeah.
True.
Right. Okay. Do I reckon one of my rations are enough? Wait. Well.
You reckon something around... Your best guess is somewhere between half a pound and a pound.
Okay.
Is there a bag and sand around?
Could you like mage hand and like push the 5 pounds of pressure onto it?
So,
Okay.
Desira, what weight would you like to put on here? You thinking half a pound? You thinking a pound?
What if you pick it up and it's like 50 pounds?
Yeah, I was very wrong.
It's just like super heavy.
Oh god, it's like a 50-50 chance I'm terrible at these. I'm gonna put down something that is the weight
Yes.
of
I have arrows. I mean, arrows would probably.
I'll put down something that's half a pound. Half a pound. I'm going with half a pound.
Half a pound. Do I see
I'm
half a
going with half a
pound?
pound.
Going once, going twice.
You grab the cube and at the same time replace with the half a pound of rations, and nothing happens.
Oh.
That was the correct answer.
We chose wisely.
Wisely.
Okay. I will hold it down victoriously to the others.
Oh, well, pump the brakes. We still have a whole bunch of jumps.
We have 15
about
jump
that.
checks.
Right. I'd like to put it in my bag so I don't drop it when I'm jumping about.
Okay.
Okay. I'll turn to Ubo. You ready to go again?
This
So I'm
old
with Sid
portal-
now. Why did 2 go?
You guys
I
made
thought you might
this
take 2 for whatever's
so
on the far side.
complex. And I love it. So you guys are here at this point, and your only exit out is, of course, going round, this
Right.
route here.
Let's
Oh,
go.
yeah, dude. How far's your Misty Step?
30 feet.
Why don't you Misty Step back?
Because I'm sure that they probably thought about something like that. I get like right in the middle and drop.
That's true, too. Again, it's a test.
Right. That's certainly, like Sydney said, that certainly would kind of be succumbing to my fear. I'll just Misty Step.
Let's go.
All right,
Yeah,
so
because it does say tread.
you are
without-
going
At 20 on the
at
first
20
one.
from the starting point to the first one. All right, we're on number 1, and now we're going to number 2, ladies and
I got
gentlemen.
a nat 20. Can that count for like 2?
If only.
An 18.
18 is a success.
16.
16 is a success. You're on number 2. 2 out of 15. 2 to number 3 now.
7. But.
See that?
Blessed.
Bless. Roll
I
well.
am blessed
How
by
blessed are you?
Bolton with a 4.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, 2
Thank
successes
God for that bless, honestly.
on number 3. Now on to number 3. It's number 4.
8. But.
No, you're now on number 4.
Now on number 4, yeah.
Bless me. Still works.
Oh, you need wasn't that?
Just
Still works.
Just made it. All right, if you guys are on number 4, going to number 5 now.
21.
21. Oh, there it is.
Nat 20.
All right, number 5 on to number 6. You guys are further away there, almost in the clear.
6.
Ooh.
But.
Roll well on this blessed, Zero.
I don't want to do it.
Roll well on this blessed. Do it. No! Down she goes. And Obo, I'm afraid as you guys are jumping together, I'm not going to give you a save to grab her here. So, Zero, roll me a d4.
Can I not?
I'm afraid you must.
Okay.
It had to happen one of these days. Oh, I love this
Only
game.
you could have reversed the.
If only we could have reversed the polarities. You will therefore take 25 points of damage,
I'm still okay.
still up, and you're down the bomb. However, as you fall with the cube, a couple of things start happening.
No, they don't.
The
No, they don't.
gate behind you slams shut, and there is now no exit for Fulton Reverie on the ledge, other than through that, it would seem like. The frog mouths
Oh,
open,
no.
and they begin to belch forth this poisonous gas.
No.
And
No.
yes, I'm afraid so. We are going to roll initiative at this point.
No.
in the
At this
scenario.
point, Will, I'd also like to remind you that I'd like to use my turtle racial power of holding my breath for an hour.
Good man.
Oh my god.
All right, so 20 for Fulton. Reverie, what'd you roll?
15.
15. Ubo.
Oosh. Here it is. Here's the TPK, guys.
Is that a 23 on your
23, yeah.
23? And then a Desiro, was that 13?
Yeah.
All right. Ubo. In fact, we'll let Ubo and Zero go together, seeing as they're on a platform. That kind of makes sense, as you'll be jumping in synchronicity.
How does she get back up? Is she able to get back up on the?
Oh, actually,
things?
yeah, you're right. You're not jumping. You fell. Why am I doing that? You're at the bottom of the turn order still. Ubo, you're on the top of this thing. Gas is beginning to fill the room. Your racial power means that you won't need to save at this point.
Okay, can I jump across and help her up? As, like, if I...
She's 30 feet down.
Oh, she fell 30 feet? Oh,
The pit
okay.
is 30 feet, yeah.
I'm fine.
Okay, do we have... I mean, I have a rope. I'm going to jump across and lower a rope down to her to get her, because she can't go across this death area anyway. She has to get back up to the ledge that I'm
Right.
on. I can't keep going because it'll retract the ledge that I'm on. I'm right above her. I have to get her up. He lowers the rope.
Yep. Worth noting as well that the spikes seem to be moving down and then moving up very suddenly. Go dum, 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 almost rhythmically at this point as well. So staying down there does not seem like a good option for Desira. Okay, Ubo, you do that. Fulton, it's your turn. You can roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Do we? If we're holding our breath or anything,
Yeah, you roll the save even if you're holding your breath. I mean.
Oh, okay. So that is the holding the breath. 19.
That's safe. Poison does not get to you yet. You're holding your breath.
Okay. Shit. Sorry. Oops. Darn it. Shnikes.
Gosh darn.
This is ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Ridiculous. You
I
did so well.
am holding
Way to
my
go.
action
Okay.
to cast healing word on Desira if something horrible happens before she gets up back on here, because it's Desira.
Okay.
In case she fails horribly.
Let's be honest. All right, so we'll put you holding there. Excellent. Reverie.
Mm-hmm.
Constitution saving throw.
Yep.
Yep.
10.
That's a fail.
Yep.
Yup.
Bring it.
So you take 14. Oh, in fact, I was wrong. Ubo, you will need to make that Constitution saving throw. Creatures are affected even if they hold their breath or don't need to breathe.
Oh no.
Reverie, you take 14 poison damage.
Son of a bitch.
Sorry. 15.
15's a save.
Can I still, like, do stuff?
You can still act. You just take the damage at the start of your
Yeah.
turns. You breathe in this acrid gas.
Yeah, okay. Can I just roll, like, a perception check to see if there's anything, like, that can indicate what I need to do here?
Yeah, roll me a perception check.
Anything. Something. Please.
Manual
for
comes
love of
down.
God. 17.
Nice.
Excellent, yes. There is a mechanism on the locked door which, with the required strength or weight, would open the locked door behind you, allowing you to get into the open air.
Wait, okay. Describe it to me in detail.
You are standing on a ledge. 5 feet behind you, there's a locked door which has come down almost like a portcullis. If
Yes.
you were to leverage enough weight, you realize that these are half pin barrel hinges, you could break this thing down with a successful strength check.
Okay, I want to relay this to Fulton. So when you say enough weight, do you mean like weight equal to the weight of the door that just came down?
I mean, probably, yeah. You'd either need an intense amount of weight or just some strength. Successful strength check to break it down.
I'm gonna relay this to Fulton and basically suggest I don't know, a jump, a big old jump on the weight thing, so maybe we can like get it. You know what? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you want me to break down the door?
Yeah.
Open the door.
Well, yeah, I feel like if we like hold each other and jump on it, then it can be.
Teamwork.
We gotta do strength. If
I mean,
you,
does it look like it's like a mechanism, like a scale thing? Is what you're
yeah,
saying?
it looks like a
Right.
like a teeter totter. thing, a seesaw, right?
Everything
That's-
in this tomb appears to be weight based in some way. You could
Yeah.
either put an intense amount of weight on it, or you could just bust this thing down.
Yeah, and there's nothing around me that looks like I could like.
No, there's no helpful stone or.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
Fulton's 8 feet tall and 375 pounds. He's gonna. So he. Yeah, sure. I'll.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
But I guess that's gonna. Can I do? I had held. The problem is I had held my action to cast healing word.
If you want to cancel the healing word, then I'll let you do that.
Cancel it.
So I'll cancel it, and yeah, let's hop on the teeter totter.
All right. So, okay. Let's see. As the two of you go on it, remind me how much you weigh, Fulton.
375 pounds.
And Reverie, do you know how?
I don't have it on this character sheet. I'm pretty sure it's like 122. I think is what she
122.
weighs.
Yeah, the door begins to as you stand on it, the door begins to raise up about half the way there. You have to crawl
Okay.
through, but if you were to jump off it,
It would.
it would go back down.
Okay, can I can I step off and see if does it shut down completely when I step off, or does it just go where it's only like 1/3 open?
Yeah, it's when you jump off it, and this is one very long action, so I'll probably have to call it after this. As you jump off it, you can still crawl underneath it. It's Indiana Jones
so
level.
it's open enough. Gotcha.
cruel
It's the
enough
roll
with
under. You can
Fulton.
roll under the door.
Yeah.
Okay.
However, Fulton is going to be staying there in the poison gas whilst people crawl through that.
Go.
Oh my god. Okay. She'll look at you and be coughing because of the gas or something, and the only thing I can think of is see if maybe you can break off a spike or something and put it on there. I don't know. Good luck.
Wedge it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you
So,
could
yeah,
break
that's-
off a spike and wedge it and put it in there. I know I'm not gonna be strong enough, but if you could pop it and then shove it under there.
All right. So safe to say that's Fulton's and Reverie's turn for this round.
Yeah.
Desira, it is now your turn. You are in the spikes. There is a rope lower down to you that you could crawl up.
I would like to just lie down on the spikes and just be done with it. I'd like to try and climb the rope.
All right. Yeah, you can do that without a check. You can just climb up that rope and be where Ubo is on the fifth spike. Fifth, not spike.
Fifth
Fifth
plank.
Plank. Thank you. Yeah.
And then can I try to get from one plank to the other?
Absolutely. So you can move
That's a 15.
30 feet on your turn. You can jump over 6 of these planks in theory on a turn.
Okay, so I've got.
I mean, you've
15.
climbed up, but we'll say you took the dash action.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, con check. Thank you, Zodiac, for 0. Thank you, buddy.
Thanks.
Tracking a lot of things at the moment.
20.
20 is safe. Don't take damage.
Oh wait, rolled twice, but no, 20 on both, so yay.
No worries.
So I do 15 on one plank,
Okay, good.
So she's on the 6th.
14
Yep.
on another.
So that's 7th.
Wait, if I start going, don't they start retracting behind me?
That's correct.
I go next. Can I?
Yeah,
can
Ubo
I
goes next. We can say that they're synchronized at
That
the same
yellow.
time.
Okay,
I mean, the
okay.
turn is still the same, within the same 6 seconds here.
13,
Yep, 8th.
8, but
Bless. You
but-
succeed with your
but-
bless, right?
Oh, we
But-
succeed because it's a 1.
yeah, even perfect.
Because it is. Of course, it's a 1.
This is a 1.
and then oh,
No. Oh no! 3 or come on, 3 or 4
0
again.
To 0. Darrell,
how close am I? Just FYI.
which plank are you on now at this point?
now?
Let's see. It
1,
was
2,
6.
3,
yeah.
4. I went 4. This
You
will be my
went
5th plank.
4, so this will be your 5th one, and you had already done 5, right? So this is onto,
Yeah.
onto the
6, 7, 8,
10.
9.
10th.
You're trying to jump to 10.
Greg's tracking, yeah, onto the 10th.
No, 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 no,
How many times have you failed acrobatics checking this
No.
campaign?
no.
Alright, Azira, roll me a d4, you know the drill.
I mean,
Here's that 4 you needed.
Yeah.
I'm going to fight something, and it's myself. 2.
Alright, Azira, you now take 15 points of piercing damage, and you are on these
You up?
spikes.
I have free health. points.
3 hit points.
Free.
Now, as mentioned previously, these things are moving up and down in a very precarious manner, with very painful, ensuring manner.
Am I close enough though to just wander along to the steps?
You would have to get through this bed of moving up and down spikes.
Okay, that's a no.
So it's possible, but painful, likely. Okay, so that is the first turn. Ubo, Constitution saving throw. Oh,
no.
buddy. Oh boy, let's see. Remember that chart I had about player death earlier, guys? Takes 6 damage, pretty low rolls.
Okay. I get to make
Where is
my acrobatics now. Am I within? How many of these do I have to jump across before I would be close enough to Dazira?
Let's say the 9th one. Because she's 30 feet down as well.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Alright.
And then I can do one more for my movement, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I drop down to her? Here's what I want to do. I want to
And a
do
Mission
the following.
Impossible it.
Yes, there's gonna be some rolls involved, and I'm putting this in your lap, Mr. DM. Ubo would like to get to where she is. I've just used my movement so far. I would like to drop to her, and as my action, cast Cure Light Wounds. And as my bonus, I would like to retract into my shell down against the spike bed, so she can walk across me to get where she needs to go on the bottom.
Ooh,
Okay.
Are they moving like in a wave pattern? Can she shell surf? Oh, let her shell surf across to safety.
That's
Come
exactly
on,
what I was
Will.
All
thinking.
right. So the first thing we've got to do in this scenario, because yes, we are going to do this. Of course we are. Ubo, roll me an acrobatics check to get down there with the rope. That's a good check. You get
Right
down to
on.
Dazira, and now Dazira, it's your turn to make some rolls, which is where this whole thing goes wrong.
This is where it all goes wrong.
So
7 healing too, as soon as I
Nice.
touch her.
Oh,
heal for
Good.
7, Dazira,
Great.
and now Ubo, you want to turn your shell in such a way that she can walk upon it.
Yeah, I'm shell down. She's gonna walk across my soft shell tum.
Okay, and is she going to climb up the rope from there?
Just like that. She's surfing to the. This is some heroes in a half shell stuff right now, man. So Ubo runs, he gets down there. As he passes her, he slaps 7 hit points onto her, and
Yes.
he jumps in the air and retracts and gets the momentum to start going across the top of the spikes. And as he jumps, he yells, "Surf on me!"
All right, as you surf to safety, Dazira. It reminds you of that one time you were down in the tunnel of Greece with Bert, and it's almost as though you were with
Nostalgia.
Bert at this point. Dazira, roll me an acrobatics check, please.
oh,
Your strength.
Sorry, did I mishear you? Did you say strength?
No,
Strength?
I did not.
Are you sure?
That
You
is-
sure you don't have to be a strong person to surf a tortoise?
You gotta
Are
be.
Sure?
You gotta have that dexterity. You gotta have that tool school
Oh, but
dexterity.
what about those athletics? Okay.
See if there it is. There it is. So, Dazira, please describe to me how you sail to safety, and I please tell me that there's an Indiana Jones moment as you go through the portcullis.
Oh, absolutely. 100%. She jumps up onto the shell and gives him like a thumbs up. Yeah, we're doing this. And then she hunkers down and there's spikes coming up all out of everywhere. And all of a sudden she's dodging and she's diving and she's dodging with the shell. And at one point, some of the spikes come up and she surfs it up like a really intense wave. And they sail in the air for a moment and then back down onto the top ledge, and they start skidding a little bit out of control towards the door. And she's like, "Oh God, I'm going to hit my head on the door." And as they get closer, she hungs down and she rolls off and she rolls over and tucks and rolls underneath the door, and then just grabs the shell and just swishes it through the door as well.
Beautiful. So the two of you are to safety, as is Reverie. So that is Dazira's turn. Fulton, it's your turn. Constitution save. Actually, do you roll it every turn? Let me check. Yes, every turn. Oh, that's a fail. DC 12. So you're gonna take, friends, 18. All sixes.
Oh my gosh! Look at that.
18 poison.
Okay.
Damage. And it's your turn as your friends just kind of zip out to safety.
So,
Cowabunga, bro.
yeah.
She's like doing this, and she's like, where?
There is some devil's
I'm
number,
going
my
to jump
friend.
on this whole thing because Fulton,
666.
Fulton sounds like Fulcrum, and being a smart Furlbog, knows that with a long enough stick and a fulcrum, you can move the world. So what I would love to do, what I'd love to do, because I have spears, which are scaled for an 8-foot tall person, is basically as the shell is sliding by me, basically use that, with my spear and basically him as the lever point, be able to athletics check this, to get this gate just high enough that I can slip under and roll out as the last man out.
All right. I love this idea.
I'm scared of this.
I love it. I love it so much that I'm going to go do a Tomb Insight and tease you all. To see
And
if we
leave us
succeed.
hanging
And
on
leave
where I
you
live?
all hanging right there.
Will,
'cause
did I
we've
ever
got some
tell you
chat.
that I dislike you?
Every single episode, Louise, and you keep coming back. We'll be right back. We'll be right back. All right, my friends. Let's see here. Quick Tomb Insight before we dive back into our very tense scenario right there. We're going to quickly talk about introducing new PCs into your campaign before we go back. Yes, you guys are shocked and upset, but I don't care. You know what? This is my DM cave that you're in right now, so we play by my rules. So, quickly introducing new PCs into your campaigns. Let's talk about let's hit the bullet points real quick. First of all, let's make sure that your new PC that is joining your campaign, there's all of the same relevant information that you've given to the rest of your players as well. If you did a session 0 with your previous players, make sure to have that same conversation with the new player who is joining into your game as well. As far as their player character goes, make sure that they have some kind of backstory reason to be joining the party. One of the first questions that I ask players is, why are you joining this group? Why are you traveling in a group in the first place whatsoever? Why don't you just Lone Ranger this? Might be something as simple as, it's safer to go together. Or it may be more complex, that they are chasing the same villain that the party are. They are affected by the same actions in the world as they are as well. Having a player or player character suddenly just showing up for seemingly no reason, can be good. It can work perfectly well. Or, of course, sometimes it feels like they're just there to replace the last one as well. Now, Ubo, of course, was thrown up from the frogmoth, and he's got a little bit of backstory going on with that as to why he's in Omu, which may well not come up in this phrase session because we're pretty tense moment right now. But there is stuff there, and of course, he's previously known the party as well in a little one-shot for charity we did. But yes, make sure that the character that is joining has a reason to join with the party, and will hopefully mesh with them as well. I know sometimes players will come to me and they're like, I've got this new idea for a character, it's like super evil because I played a nice guy last time. You've got to consider whether or not such a character would fit with the party, and if it's reasonable enough that they might get along with them, be able to play with and exist with that party. Always asking that same question, why are you traveling with the group? As far as introducing them, give them a cool scene, a cool moment to come in. And for instance, Ubo just slew the frogmoth after being spat out from it. So a pretty climactic moment to show that he is on the same side as the player characters as well. Of course, you guys will know when you ever introduce new NPCs into your campaign, players may not trust them because you have deceived them in the past. But make it clear that the player character also has shared motivations and hopefully shared ideals to some extent with the party as well, so that they might fit in to the story itself. A quick note on dealing with player and DM absences as well, whilst we have a second here before the players dive back into the scene. Communication is incredibly important when playing Dungeons & Dragons. Sorry, by the way, I know I'm racing through all of this stuff, but it's only because we're a little short on time and I want to get to some bits here in a moment. Dealing with player absences is one thing. Communication is really important. As a player, if I can't make a session, I need to make sure that I tell that person in advance, preferably with more than 24 hours notice. It's so frustrating for a group and for a dungeon master as well when someone just doesn't show up. I find that to be like the highest disrespect that a dungeon master can be handed out by a player, someone just not showing up to the session and not mentioning that they aren't showing up as well. Even worse, having agreed to plans and then cancelling without any kind of notice can be really frustrating and actually stops the story from progressing a lot of times as well. Now, of course, player absences are a thing. People's schedules change, people's lives change. For instance, Josh had to dive out of the Learn by Play game because his own schedule has changed. Now he came to us, he told us that was going to be the case, and we worked out something to do with his character as well. And there are no hard feelings when it happens. I find, personally, if someone's life changes and something comes up, they've got to do something, they've got to be somewhere else, no problem whatsoever. You just need a bit of a heads up so that you can plan, because as Dungeon Masters, we spend so much time planning into our games, spend so much time putting effort into it. If you don't know that someone is going to turn up to your session, it can feel really frustrating and really kind of shitty that they haven't made the effort to even tell you that they aren't going to be coming as well. Now, another thing as well is a Dungeon Master absence, when your DM just doesn't show up or isn't showing up or making an effort to schedule or whatever. That could be a difficult one. I've known groups of players who are frustrated by their DM's lack of scheduling or lack of being able to be at games or whatever. Possible solutions: talk to the Dungeon Master about it. Can you find a new time that works? Can you figure out why maybe they don't want to be at the session? I usually find if people don't show up to something, it's because they don't want to do it most of the time. Or there's something that's holding them back. Sure, like, last minute emergencies happen plenty of the time, but there are only so many last minute emergencies that I really buy, and then I start to think, well, maybe there's something else going on here. Maybe the game isn't working out the way they want to. Maybe they don't want to play with us anymore. Something like that. And the same goes for players as well. You can always ask them, just to be honest, is there something that I can be doing better as a Dungeon Master to help you? Is it that your schedule just changed, or is it something else that is on your mind and maybe worrying you that we can work to resolve together? Absences can mean all sorts of things in games. Maybe something that you as a Dungeon Master has been doing wrong. Hasn't been given them any time to roleplay, for instance, and they feel like, well, there's kind of no point for them showing up. Maybe people are strange. It's best to ask them how they're feeling. I found in order to be able to understand it, because guessing doesn't work so well. So always ask people what's going on. Is there any way you can help? Is there the schedule change that we can all work together? And of course, if players just keep missing sessions, or if Dungeon Masters keep missing sessions, then you can have a conversation with a player and say, all right, if you're not going to show up, we're going to fill the space with someone else that wants to play with us. And a Dungeon Master as well. If someone isn't willing to DM for whatever reason, maybe they just like to play instead, and someone else in the group can DM. But bear in mind to have really clear and concise communication with players and DMs as well. When you can make sessions, let them know. If you can't make sessions, or maybe even you think you might not be able to make a session, really helps me. I find if a player tells me, there's like a 50% chance I won't be able to be there tonight, and then my planning doesn't revolve the whole session around that character or a certain plot line that I was going down, for instance. So that can be really helpful. The other thing as well is booking things in your life and just looking ahead in your schedule. Something I found before is like, players may very well be free for the next 4 weeks, and then after that they're not. And the 4 weeks may be great and you had a great time playing those 4 sessions, but then after that they're just not there anymore and their schedule's completely changed, and you've started a campaign with someone who might not be able to see it out and you'd like to see it out. So I always ask players to look ahead in their schedules. I'll try and tell them, particularly in my stream campaigns and kind of roleplay, how many sessions we're doing. We're doing an 8-session campaign, we're doing a 16-session campaign, we're doing a 32-session campaign, for instance. Maybe you don't know. Maybe you think, maybe we play for a couple of weeks, see how it goes, and then if we want to take it from there. But it's always good to know if someone's schedule is going to be changing. Are you going to get a new job? Are you quitting your job, for instance? Are you moving house? Something like that might disrupt schedule. Look ahead into the future so that you can plan your sessions around that. Let's see if there are any questions in chat. I've just been staring at the camera for the last moment. All the women want will, all the men want to be will. Is that a question? No, it's just a statement. Let's see. So I prefer to DM so I don't ever run into that issue. Yeah, I think that's a great... that is often the answer to a lot of problems with games where Dungeon Master isn't showing up, for instance. Just DM yourself, or one of your players, pick up the DM book. A lot of the time, DMs get started by being the only ones willing to play, or willing to get the book and read it and do it. And so there's a certain bravery in just picking up the book and saying, what, if no one else is going to do it, then I'm going to do it because we want to play. So that's a great solution. Just start playing, you know, and have the confidence and courage to go out there and be the DM that you want to be. All right, let's dive back into the game, because we are pretty close to some important moments here. So let's go back to the players and let's see what they are up to. Players, how you guys feeling at this point? This pretty good moment we're about to be in, or a terrible moment? Oh, I've got you guys muted. My mistake. There we go.
Scared.
Scared?
I have a
Good.
plan.
Not tense.
You
No,
have a
no,
plan?
we're not
I have a
tense.
plan.
We're
Yeah.
fine.
You guys have had a lot of plans today. All of them have been excellent, might I say.
Well,
Excellent.
Yes.
I know.
I've created a fully engineered free body diagram in Roll20
Wow.
explaining Fulton's plan.
That is...
It's really
We've
good.
been busy.
You actually have. Let me...
I am that guy at your table.
I actually went and did that. All right, excellent. So let's see this plan. Fulton, walk us through it, buddy. What is about to happen here?
So he sees the surfing happening and sees Ubo go sliding by, being surfed upon. In order to get underneath the zero, she said she jumps ahead and rolls. And as he sees this human-sized shell sliding by, basically takes a spear and jams it under the gate, and slams his foot down on the spear using Ubo's shell as the fulcrum point to push it up higher. So that basically acts like more weight going down onto the pressure point.
I love it.
And then as the gate goes up and it's high enough now, he basically just sort of goes and slides underneath, does a big Indiana Jones roll. So he and Ubo are kind of rolling out together at the same time.
You have to reach back and grab your antlers or your hat or something. It's like the last second.
I reach back and grab my spear because I'm not leaving that behind. That's a handmade heirloom.
I love it. So a series of things are going to happen almost immediately. Fulton is...
That's a great plan. However,
Here's the thing. Fulton is going to roll a strength check, and at the same time, Ubo is going to roll a Constitution saving throw, because we want to see if it crushes him to death.
Yeah.
Because his shell is taking on a whole lot of weight, and he is an old man.
Can I bless them without a spell? 'Cause I don't have a spell, but just with words.
No, you can't. Not in any real way. In every other sense of the way, yes. In any real way.
My shell hole.
Wait. No. No.
that would be a nat 1.
That would be a nat 1, ladies and gentlemen.
Unless,
sure
unless
I
my
can't
free
bless
body
them?
diagram gives me advantage.
And my bless.
And my bless. You have my bless. So, Fulton, as you jam in the spear, is that right? Or jumping in the shell?
Yeah. Well, the spear under the gate using the spell. Using the shell as the fulcrum point.
Yeah. You feel the spear just snap. And the weight, as you come, the weight just kind of presses down on Ubo. And Ubo, well, like that one from Fulton, there's nothing stopping the weight of this huge portcullis, which can clearly hold over 700 pounds. Yeah. Zero.
Yes. As I exit the portcullis, can
Yes, as
I
you surf
Indiana
out.
Jones and grab Ubo and just grab him through?
Here's the thing. Ubo's shell is about to be crushed. That much is clear. His shell is about to be broken irreversibly. Desira, if you can roll me
Oh no.
a DC 15
It's not going to happen, is it? It's not gonna
dexterity
happen.
check with no
I'm
bonuses,
sure it's
no
not
chance,
strength. I'm a very strong person.
no chance
You
for
have bless
anything else
still.
here. You got the bless. That's the only thing on your side. Then you could save Ubo in this scenario.
Will, can I interject for
No.
just a second?
No, you
Since
may. Go
there's
ahead.
there's a lot of talking around Ubo at this part, and there's not really Ubo made it. Let's retcon this, and I made it out of this place.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Can I, because of my earlier rolls that were really good, would you give me the opportunity to use my last Misty Step to get the hell out of this? Like, can I, from where I was?
He's feeling his
okay.
shell break and misty steps.
Here's my second devil's bargain to the group of you. So, devil's bargain number 1, you can try and make the save, potentially save Ubo. Devil's bargain number 2, Ubo, you can Misty Step out of there, however, you seal Fulton in there.
Okay, but here's the thing. All Fulton has to do is go stand back on it. We are literally outside now. We'll go find something heavy and slide it under there, or find something strong enough to hold the door open.
You could definitely try that. All the time the poison gas is going to be eating away at Fulton.
Well, we'll figure it out.
Sure, I believe in you guys so much.
Because we've done so well.
Either way, even if she reaches in and saves Ubo, that has nothing to do with Fulton. He's still in there, and the door's still.
True.
That makes no sense. That's what we're gonna do. He gets out either way. Fulton is stuck in there either way. So Fulton is gonna go stand on the thing. We're gonna go find something outside to go shove under the door, and he's gonna wiggle out.
This is not your decision to make. This is Greg's right now.
I am listening to the rogue, so I am going to Misty Step my turtle butt out of in there, and we're gonna go find other stuff because.
Can I make the roll just to see what it would have been based on how terrible my rolls are?
Yeah,
He
please.
already got out.
No, but just not to be anything, but just for my own benefit to see what it would have
sure.
been.
Because these always go the way that you.
It would have been a 13.
You would have had to bless.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So
Oh.
it would have been a.
You would have succeeded.
Would have done it.
It would have done it.
It-
So
Anyway,
either way,
it's done.
huzzah.
Okay.
Ubo teleports out. You guys are there. Let's see. That was who was turns out? That was Fulton. So
So it was
Ubo.
Fulton's turn. So I
yeah.
did that as my
Oh, yeah.
turn, and
Fulton's
the
turn.
spear broke.
Spear
Yeah.
broke.
Now,
Now, as Ubo goes, you are shut back in here.
Yep. And so the gate goes down, so I wasn't able to make. I tried that, nothing happened basically. So I guess I'm still standing on the thing.
And it has been.
So I'm still standing here on the thing.
Yeah, it is now the 3rd round as more poison gas fills the room.
How much does a frogmoth weigh?
You don't know, probably heavy, but would you be able to get it inside to the weight system?
I think a better bet would be to find some sort of really strong stone material to put under the door that could hold it up.
Ubo, it's your turn.
That was my turn.
Fulton just went top of the round. Ubo went on Ubo's turn on a 23, right? And this Ubo's already taken his turn.
No, Fulton, then Reverie, then Desira, then me.
I have Fulton on a 20. He held his action, so he went at the end of the round. Then Ubo 23, Reverie 15, Desira 13.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Greg, you had 23.
Yeah, you had a 23. You go first.
And I was holding my action, yeah.
Yeah, Fulton
Okay.
held his action. So top of the round, Ubo's turn, then Reverie, then Desira, then Fulton.
Oh, okay. A perception for something that could act as a shell replacement for the door once it opens.
Alright, let's see. Yeah, roll me a perception check. Nope, nothing in sight.
I can't find anything. Okay, I'm gonna hold my action. As far as with perception, and I'm gonna hold my action for the following: if the door opens to the point where we could conceivably pull Fulton through, I want to be in a position to aid in that.
Okay.
So if he's like coming through, I want to be in a position to grab.
Right, yeah. I mean, at this point, his antlers would and the size of him would probably stop him from crawling under, so you'd need more weight on the
Yeah, I'm too big.
the thing that Fulton's on right now. Alright, Reverie.
Yeah, I'm gonna also roll perception to search for either something that looks like it would weigh as much as Fulton and be able to slide under that third of the way that the door's open, or something made out of a strong enough material that could withstand the weight of the.
Alright then. Perception check.
I have to pull up my character sheet so everybody does sing. 12.
Nope. I mean, there might be something in the water, but you can't see into it. I'll let the frogmoth, I guess, so you know it's there. Alright, that's Reverie. Desira.
I would
Master
also
of the
like to
rolls.
have a look around, and I'd like to roll really well in doing so.
I would like to see you try.
Can I still,
That's a
can I do the
16?
same where I hold my action and like if I want to hold my action to where if Desira finally finds something, or whenever somebody finds something, to where I can assist and like roll a strength check to help pick it up, whatever it is.
You can hold your action. The 0 and a 16, across the part where the statue is at, in that little island, there. You remember when you were in the water, there was some big rocks at the bottom that could conceivably be dragged up. Other than that, the statue itself could possibly be removed. I mean, this is something that would weigh more than Fulton.
I feel like moving the statue is probably a bad idea. Because the statue of Kubazek, is that his name?
Kubazan, yeah.
Kubazan. So, I'll go and try and get a rock or a few rocks from the bottom of the water.
Alright, so you can take your action to dive down into the water. Roll me a strength check.
I would love to. It's a 20.
That's 20. You begin to drag this big rock out of the water. You're going to take another turn to get back towards the shrine, most likely, though.
Okay.
Alright, so that
Then do I go help her drag it with the strength check?
your held action. She is in the pond at this point, so she has dragged it up from the pond. You could take in... No, you'd have to move. So your action would be to make a strength check, not to move and make a strength check. So your action is still held. Until a point where Desira gets back to you, or when your next turn you just choose to move. So Fulton, Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
As more and more gas fills the room.
Where'd it go? Constitution saving throw. 20.
That'll do it. You sense the gas getting further and further into the room at this point. And the weight feels like it's getting heavier and heavier on you. So it is round.
Oh wait, no, I've got more turn
You got stuff to do. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm casting Cure Wounds on myself.
Good idea.
I've only got level 1 left, so... Oh, that's 12, though. I'll take it.
All right, 12 healing it is. Anything else?
Nope, that's it. That's all I can do.
Oh,
I'm out. If I had my second level spell, we'd be okay.
All right, Ubo.
Can I run down and assist with the rock to get it up there?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, and then as soon as we get close enough for Reverie to help, she could
Yeah,
assist.
use her held action then to assist, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so the three of us, can we get it to the door on my action?
Yeah, let's see some strength checks. In fact, I'll let you guys roll athletics on this one. Everyone roll me an athletics. You push this big old stone.
23.
Oh, 23. Finally an athletics check for the 0.
Look at that.
And a 17.
Athletics I'm great at. Acrobatics, no.
Nailed it. You managed to wedge this huge stone which is pushed into the kind of wedge and just wedge it there long enough. And that's all of your turns basically. Fulton.
So there's a stone wedged under
There's
there.
a stone wedged in there which is holding it shut. And it looks like it'll probably hold it there for a good long while. Constitution saving throws, start your turn.
Constitution saving throw for start my turn. Ooh, a 6.
Hey, yikes. Yep, that's another 11 poison damage that you take.
Good thing I healed myself.
Good thing you healed up there. Now, what would you like to do on your turn?
I mean, so can I wiggle out? Can I try to get through?
Absolutely, yeah. You can Indiana Jones the hell out of this.
Oh yeah. So now I'm going through, going under. Is there a check necessary, or I'm just
you
getting
don't
out?
need to make a check. The rock is there in place and holding it, and the 4 of you are out as the gas begins to seep out of the shrine itself, and you have the puzzle cube.
1 of 9. Great.
1 of 9.
We're gonna die. Oh.
Thank you all for finding that.
We would not have gotten out without you.
Is Orvex around?
Orvex is, yes.
Orvex, please tell me that the Red Wizards have recovered some of these. That I'd much rather, I think, fight them than have to go through another of those traps.
Oh, yes. While you're out, I put up a little signal for them. Should be here any minute.
Oh, no.
And
be
that is where we're
here.
going to wrap up tonight's session.
Oh, shnikes.
Out of the frying pan into the fire. Cool.
Oh, good times in the Tomb of Annihilation to be had by all. Desira somehow made it out of that alive. I am very surprised,
Honestly,
to be honest.
It's the bless.
It is the bless. Without that bless,
I would have been dead.
It was the
it would have all
bless.
been ogre. It would have all been ogre. Well, my friends, that is where we're ending tonight's episode of Learn by Play. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it as much as we did. Of course, if you did, please do let us know. I had a lot of fun on that one, getting these guys screwed over in this tomb, and they are finally seeing the effects of now one less party member as well. Rip Bert Bartleby Baxter, the third of his name. If you enjoyed the show, please do let us know. You can follow us here. We stream D&D all the time. Over at Encounter Roleplay, there is the link. Hit us with a follow. We'd love to play more D&D with you guys. Some folks are asking, how can we get into D&D sessions? We run a couple every Thursday, so you can join us over on twitch.tv/Encounter Roleplay for some shenanigans. Let's go around the cast and crew real quick before it's time for the Heroes Graveyard. Let's start with Tall Score. What do you think is a nice episode, my friend?
Whew, that was crazy. I'm interested to know what the right solution was to that puzzle. Because I'm telling you, I'm sticking with Leapfrog. I'm sticking with, Leapfrog was just too cool. But it was great. I had a great time. I'm Tall Squall. You can find me all over the social media under the name of Tall Squall. If you go to my Twitter account, you can find links to all the other places I am, including a campaign that I DM on Saturdays right before this one. So thanks, guys.
Great stuff. Sydney!
It was interesting. It was interesting.
Yeah.
I do think we all learned a valuable lesson here that we were talking about earlier during your Tomb Insight, that I am always right and have never been wrong.
Uh-huh.
In my life.
That's
But
another theory.
It's a fact. You can follow me on Twitter. The link is in the chat, and you can find out everything else I do from there.
Greg!
Had an absolute blast. This was super fun. Playing with these guys is the best. Being inside the PC cave was an interesting experience too, because as a viewer before and getting behind the curtain, that was neat. It absolutely super fun, intense, doing all this stuff. Grimjack21502 on Twitch and Twitter. Had a blast playing with these people. Come check me out. We do Cthulhu and Encounter Roleplay. That's where it's at too. See you guys later.
And last but not least, Louise.
Yo, I'm alive. Somehow. Who knows? That will continue, I'm sure, for the rest of the season. If you wanted to find me before my inevitable death and doom, you can do so on Twitter at No More No Less, on Twitch, Accidental Legend, and on the Encounter Roleplay podcast, Wonder Quest, which is the DMs, and it's great and it's wonderful. You should follow it. Today's episode was amazing. It was great. Never been more stressed in my life. I won't sleep for a week. Thanks, you will.
Welcome,
just as a note, Lloyd, who is in the chat right now,
Yes,
is the person who did the art for Desira.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, that's some awesome artwork. That's
I'll
some
link
great
it
stuff.
again because it's so
Why
good.
not? Have it a third time, everybody. Well, thank you so much for joining us. If you enjoyed more, same time, same place, 6 p.m. Eastern? Yeah, 6 p.m. Eastern, which is 3 p.m. Pacific, which is 11 p.m. UK time. Learn by Play every Saturday here on the D&D channel. Of course, for more Dungeons & Dragons, find us over at Encounter Roleplay. Lots of love from all you guys. Thanks so much. Enjoy the Heroes Graveyard coming up in just a few moments' time. Thank you, as always, to Wizard of the Coast for giving us this chance to play Dungeons & Dragons with you all. Love sharing this wonderful game. And until next time, try not to roll too many nat ones, because you'll fall into a pit of death and die. Good night, everybody!
Night.